subject to availability.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm State School Superintendent Tom Horn. We need to improve students' proficiency in reading and math, which is my highest priority. I'm therefore providing $40 million for free one-on-one tutoring for all public and charter school students from first grade to high school, regardless of their proficiency level. And participating teachers earn money, which they deserve, for their work to improve students' learning. Sign up at azed.gov.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Education.
If you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA soon, but not sure if you want to go all in on this crazy market, here's what many retiring professionals are doing. How about a safe and secure IRA offering a contractually guaranteed 10% income bonus that grows 7% annually guaranteed? Your income can double in 10 years. Meanwhile, neither your principal nor your retirement income is ever subjected to a market downturn. Even if the market crashes by 50%, you get the 10% bonus. Your income keeps growing at 7%, and your principal may grow without losses uncapped. You go up with the index, never down, forward, never back. Get a 10% income bonus with a 7% contractually guaranteed growth rate. I compare over 1,200 annuities with a fiduciary duty and can help you retire and stay retired.
Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now. Visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, Radio Pound, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale on D-Day. Today is D-Day. That was almost, that's 80 years ago, man.
That's 80 years ago today.
Yep. Yeah, 80 years ago, American troops and their allied forces landed on the beaches of Normandy, and it was you remember the code name of the operation, Randy?
I do remember, and I can't think of it right now. Is it Overlord?
Yes, you are correct. You were a young man when that happened, but Operation Overlord began the liberation of France, and then ultimately the other areas of Europe, and down goes Hitler. Down goes Hitler. So, this is a very big day back in 1944. It's an understatement if ever there was one. But I tell you, there's not a whole lot of guys left from that time. I mean, it was 80 years ago. So most of the guys that show up for the parades are in their hundreds. But if there was a group of veterans you should ever thank, that was probably Uno there. I mean, everybody who has served and everybody who has sacrificed, it's all important. But I would imagine that anybody who saw action in Korea, Nam, Afghanistan, Iraq, wherever, looks back at those guys and goes, damn, they got dropped into a meat grinder and won. So
they sure did. Yeah.
Tip of the hat to D-Day today. And that's all I got to say about that. 888-368-1580. Baker's Cocky Hens says there's a new moon tonight. Well, I like the old moon. What was wrong with the old moon?
Did we have to buy a new moon? Was the old one worn out?
I want to know what the upgrade's about. What do we get with this new moon? He says it might explain all the crazy stuff that's bound to happen here today. NBA Finals, Game 1. He says it's Luka time. Can't wait to see Luka staring at Tatum once the Celtics are dead. Okay, well, that's a brave prediction.
Yeah.
I don't know that a whole lot of people have a brave prediction right now outside of fans. Everyone else is kind of looking at this going, I don't know. I mean, that's basically the overwhelming opinion of Mavericks and Celtics. I don't know. But the betting public, though, is siding with the underdog. That's right. The Mavericks are the underdog, and that's where the bettors are going to. Celtics were minus 225 favorites today, and Mavericks are listed at plus 180 on that money line. So if you believe in the Mavericks, I guess you could go put some money down. I'm not confident either direction. I have no idea what we got until we start seeing somebody play.
I agree. I think this is going to be one of the closer series. I mean, I felt that about the conference finals. So who knows? Though those series felt like they were going to be close, and they absolutely weren't. But just when you look at these two teams, I mean, I think the Celtics probably have the deeper team, but you have two guys that can go get a bucket in Luka and Kyrie. That changes games.
Yeah, but the Mavericks feel a little deep too.
They are. They're not shallow. I think just Porzingis could legitimately be like they've got a couple of duos. You've got Luka and Kyrie, and then you've got Jaylen Brown and Tatum. But Porzingis is a genuine star in his own right. So he kind of tips the balance. And yeah, it's an if he's healthy. Yeah. He is playing game one though, so that's not if he's in the series. It's if he stays healthy throughout it. Because if he does, it's a pretty unbalanced scenario. But that doesn't mean that Luka can't take over a game or Kyrie can't take over a game for Dallas. Like that's still very much on the table.
All right. Well, the odds-on favorite to be the MVP is looking to be Jason Tatum. I guess on the other hand, it could be Luka Doncic. Where are you looking here for your MVP? I mean, I know MVP is the best guy on the winning team, but
yeah,
what do you think? Who's more likely? I mean, that's like saying who's going to win. I got it. But okay, forget about who wins. But who do you think is the best player in all of this? Is it Luka? Is it Jason Tatum? Is it Kyrie Irving? Is it Jaylen Brown? Who's the best player in all of this?
Luka's the best player in the series. He has a skill set that's incredibly broad, but he does everything well. He shoots it well. He gets to the basket well. He passes well. He has the ability to take over games. I do think that I think Tatum has the same ability, but he doesn't always play like it, and that's why I can't put him above Luka. He sometimes forgets that he's 6'8", 230 or whatever. Like if he plays like that all the time, I don't know who stops Jason Tatum. He stops himself more than anybody else.
Well, we're going to find out who stops who tonight. The game starts at 5:30, and look at the injured list. 0% injuries on the Boston Celtics. But for the Mavericks, Oliver Maxence Prosper, he's game time decision. Luka Doncic, game time decision, which I'll make that decision. He'll play. And then Greg Brown, not the first, not the second, but the third. Well, he's never coming back. So.
not in time for this. So
no, October 1st, I think.
Okay.
Randy thinks that the finals will still be happening in October 1st, but you won't get him back until then.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Prosper is going to make that big of a difference, but Doncic, what's the word on his gimpy knee?
I mean, it's been nagging him the whole playoffs. He's going to play through it. He's not in danger of missing any games. I don't see how that stops him. It hasn't stopped him yet. He had a couple of games, against Minnesota where, they were saying, it's really sore, and he's gone out and played anyway. So I don't think that's going to be an issue.
I would imagine that anybody that looks at this lineup for the Celtics, Jason Tatum, the Zinger, Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Drew Holiday, and always it seems at playoff time, Al Horford gets going. It seems to me that people have to look at this and go, wow, this is a stacked lineup. I mean, Drew Holiday is going to bring some defense. And Derek White, in my opinion, he is sneaky good. I was looking at some prop bets the other day, and somebody had Derek White over on leading the 3 points, made 3 points through the series.
Yeah, he's turned himself into a knockdown shooter. He was always a good shooter, but he's become a great shooter on this team. And that's not even counting what Derek White gives you on the defensive side of the ball. As a defender, the guy's insane. Like and he doesn't say anything. So he doesn't end up, his name doesn't come up with some of the other guys.
He's very quiet. And Drew Holiday, by the way, he's a world champion. He was a menace against the Phoenix Suns just a couple seasons ago. Remember that when he was with Milwaukee? I mean, he was a real headache, and turned out to be a real headache against Indiana in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I can't see how people are just taking Dallas without even thinking about the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, well, they're thinking about it. It's just when you see good odds, there is somebody's an underdog, and you're going to get plus 180 or plus 210. I think I've seen that. When you get those kinds of numbers, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go for it. Let's see what happens. Maybe they're not putting a lot of money on it, but a lot of people are betting on this, and maybe that's what it is: smaller bets for the underdog.
And I will say this: tonight's the first game of the finals.
Yes, sir.
Celtics, according to what I see here, the Celtics were founded June 6th, 1946.
So it's their birthday.
I think it's their birthday, and I think this could be a sign of things to come.
Nobody wants to work on their birthday, so maybe they're going to be disgruntled.
No, I don't know about that.
Maybe they're like, screw this, and they're just not going to care. They're like, this is bullcrap. We shouldn't have to work on our birthday.
I think they're going to go out there and get the job done.
You never know. You never know. And what we don't know is this matchup. Have they seen each other in the regular season? I know that, East and West, but maybe somewhere along the way they played each other. Just give us some sort of a preview on what might happen, in these matchups between these players. Keon's going to Google that and see what's what. I mean, let's go to the text line, see what they think. Kringleberry says Celtics -6. Yeah, is that the
line for tonight's game?
Is that the line? Yeah, the over-under is 6 in favor of the Celtics. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics are better. It's like, as far as their whole team goes, team to team, I think the Celtics are better. It's not that the Mavs don't have anybody. They got here for a reason. But when you look at how deep those squads are, Boston's a little bit deeper. Also, the Mavs did not beat the Celtics this season. They are 0-2 versus the Celtics.
Well, I mean,
first game they lost 119 to 110, and then the second game they lost 138 to 110.
Now we don't know who was injured. We don't know what the story is on any of that. But just on face value, well,
I'm not saying that's going to predict the winner. I'm just saying that's what the history is.
So, and they've seen each other, so that'll be interesting.
Yes.
Don't know. Have zero idea. Only thing I think about all this is I got to take the Celtics for two reasons. One, I'm Irish. Two, Luka's got a punchable face. And that's it. That's my only mentality here. I've got no pony in this race. So
there's that.
So that's my reasoning. Randy, who do you got and what's your reasoning?
I think Celtics close, though. I'm not I take the Celtics kind of with my hands up in the air because I feel like Dallas is good enough to take it away from them. But I got to go with chalk on this one. I mean, Celtics.
Keon?
Yeah, I'm taking the Celtics. I just, when I look at how deep they are, how well they shoot the basketball, I've been waiting this entire playoff run for that game where they just don't make any shots, and it hasn't happened. And I think that when you look at how Dallas plays defense, I think Dallas has a really good interior defense. Just don't know that's going to matter against Boston because they're trying to shoot over the top of you anyway. The matchup just kind of favors Boston as well as the depth of talent.
Anybody feeling sweepy?
I don't feel sweepy about it.
Feel sweepy?
No.
What do you think? 6 games? 5 games?
No.
7 games?
I would say more in the ballpark of 5 or 6. I don't know that we got a 7-game series here. I
think we do.
I think it just feels like one of those series like the last two in the Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals where the games are close, but you got 5 games. Like they're good games, but they're just not that many of them.
Well, I know little Adam Silver would love a 7-game series, but I also don't think they're going to get that. I really don't. 888-368-1580. Number one Rattlers fan says, this is the actual classic story of rest versus rust. There was only one more game for, I think, the Mavericks than there were for the Celtics.
I think they both won in 5, but Dallas played the game last.
Yeah, it's rust versus rust, if that's really your thinking.
or did Dallas win in 6?
I thought Dallas ran in 5.
Yeah, I thought it was 5-2. I'm not overthinking it, but yeah, Dallas just ended their series last. But you know, they're both rusty.
Donnie, of course, says, all you guys are feeling Boston, huh? Might as well put my savings on the Mavericks. Luka seems like he's on a mission. Well, everybody's on a mission until they're not. And, if Keon is right and the Celtics are just flat out a better team, yeah, you should put your money on the Mavericks. Donnie, put your cell phone money on the Mavericks.
Once again, Donnie here putting words into our mouths. I clearly said it's a toss-up for me, and I've got to go with the chalk, so I'll take Boston, but I wouldn't be alarmed if Dallas won this series. And Keon clearly says it's going to be a close series. It's not going to be some team run away with it. Jeffrey, you said the same thing. Here comes Donnie. Well, I might as well go put my money on Dallas.
Yeah, I don't know what we've got. I'm just saying why I'm going for them. Luka has a punchable face, and I'm Irish, so I guess I got no other reasons.
Well,
I'm not predicting anything. I'm picking. We're picking. We're not predicting. We're picking our team that we are going to go. Yeah, I think Keon. You look at his pick. You got to take that seriously. Randy and I, not so much. Let's see. Heavy Metal Maniac says, "What do you think? Good afternoon, gentlemen. Who sing the Bobby Hurley's brother is the head candidate?" Okay. We're going to talk about that in a minute, Heavy Metal Maniac. So hang on. Hang on to that. Sideshow Bob says, I got Massive and Irving MVP. Massive what? What do you have that's massive?
And what does that have to do with Kyrie?
I'm doubting you have very little that is massive. King of Kittens says, as a Lakers fan, but I hope I'm wrong, but I'm picking the Celtics in 6. Okay.
All right.
It's a lot of qualifiers we didn't need. Chief Skull says, afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for your D-Day service. Randy, it's great to see old guys like you still out there kicking.
Thank you.
Well, I did insinuate that you were on the beach at Normandy. So.
Well, thank you.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, people keep calling the Celtics deep. What depth? They have no bench to speak of other than a couple of average white guys at best. Their starting 5 may be deeper. Is that what people mean? They got a deeper 5?
What are you talking about?
I don't know how
ask me like I'm saying it.
No, you're the voice of that person.
Well,
so when I
don't
say
have any answers.
So when I say you, I don't mean you. I mean the person whose voice
felt like it was coming right at me.
The voice of the person who you are representing, not you. I mean, obviously not you.
Sometimes these people make me the actor in their story, and it's uncomfortable. Pinocchio says, of course, the Lakers would drop Dan Hurley news morning the Celtics start their finals run in an attempt to stay relevant. I don't think that they see. Here's the thing. You think that they have to do certain things to try to stay relevant. What you have to understand is they think they are always relevant. They have no concept that maybe you didn't think about them every day for the last 365 days. So you're overestimating the Lakers on that. Walter Mellon says, how much will $5 get Donnie if he wins after putting his life savings on this series?
Wow.
Well, wow. I'd say with his luck, nothing. 888-368-1580. So let's talk about the Lakers. Yes, everybody knows that now they're getting ready to put a massive offer in front of Dan Hurley, not Bobby Hurley, Dan Hurley. And the last time I checked, they have not made anything official, although there's a bunch of fake Dan Hurley Twitter accounts that are saying that he took the job. But it's not real.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen here? I think that smart money for Dan Hurley. Don't do it.
I mean, he could look get a nice NBA paycheck, get a nice job where you don't have to recruit all the time. If it doesn't work out, you can go back to college.
The Lakers, LeBron James. That's a year. UConn is for life if he wants. He's a made man, and they will throw more money at him over a longer period of time than your 1 or 2 years with the Lakers when something doesn't go your way.
If Danny Hurley goes to the Lakers and it doesn't work out, you got to coach basketball get paid, and you didn't have to hit the recruiting trail and go to the transfer portal and worry about a bunch of these kids. And if it doesn't,
Herm Edwards into this.
If it doesn't work out and he wants to go back and coach, there are a bunch of teams who are going to throw themselves at Danny Hurley to hire him.
His UConn situation is set. He is a made man. He's got the talent. He's got the recruiting. He doesn't have to do a whole lot of anything to keep that train going, and you know it. So
he does still have to recruit.
I feel like this is a dumb idea for Dan Hurley to go to the Lakers.
I don't think so. I just because he can always go back to college, and it would be easy. It would be simple.
Let me ask you this question.
I'm going to go back to night school.
So if let's say Danny Hurley considers this and he starts to take a look at this for reals, and he says, all right, I might do this because I have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Now, right there, that's going to stop me. Mm-hmm. Because who's going to coach LeBron James and Anthony Davis? Tell me you, not Danny Hurley. Danny Hurley's going to go in there all fired up because you know what kind of a personality he has. You know, he's very ADHD on the sidelines. He's running up and down. Yeah. He's got the sweat going on.
Fights in practice day one.
Oh, yeah. He's yelling at referees, things like that. You don't think LeBron and AD are going to take that, do you?
I think they'll do just fine. They did fine with other coaches that were, like other coaches who were clearly not better, and they had no problems with those coaches.
If they don't agree with Danny Hurley, LeBron's going to turn that hearing right off. You'll just shut it down, and you'll be back in the same situation.
Who isn't that true for? There's no coach for whom that is not true. That if LeBron doesn't want to listen to you, and if Anthony Davis doesn't want to listen to you, they're just not going to listen to you. I like him better than JJ Redick for a couple of reasons. One, he has actual coaching experience, actual championship coaching experience. Mm-hmm. College, different, but he does have it. And JJ is too close to LeBron. And you have to worry about LeBron, but you have to worry about the other guys in that locker room too. And I don't want a situation where every player in the locker room thinks he's a good coach, but he sounds like a mouthpiece for LeBron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think you want that. And that's why I think Hurley, it's a good spot for him because he can still reach all those other guys, and that's mostly the job.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little more about Dan Hurley and the possibilities with the stupid Lakers. And we got a bunch more NBA and baseball and other stuff to talk about. I want to try to talk more football today if we can. So here's hoping. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are in San Diego tonight to begin a 4-game series with the Padres. The Diamondbacks had a 4-game win streak snapped on Wednesday with a loss to the San Francisco Giants. Slade Ciccone will start for Arizona tonight, 1-4, 5.59 ERA. Randy Vasquez goes for the Padres. He's 1-3. Arizona getting a run and a half tonight, minus 200 on the run line. The Padres minus a run and a half, plus 165. On the money line, the Diamondbacks are plus 105. The Padres minus 125. And the over-under run total at Petco Park tonight is at 8.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
This Father's Day, the Home Depot has same-day delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad be everything he can be. Because your dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Let the Home Depot help power Dad's doing with the convenience and gas-like power of Milwaukee cordless outdoor tools. Plus, get up to $150 off select Milwaukee tools. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select in-stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Chief Skull says Keon is misguided. We want a rough situation for the Lakers. So I say JJ Redick all day long.
No, I'm not misguided. I'm not speaking from the point of view of a fan. I'm just talking about what's going to actually happen. It's not about what I want for the Lakers. If you ask me what I want for the Lakers, I think JJ Redick's too good. I would Randy Whitman, you want to find him? Like, it's not what I want. I'm telling you just what would be best for them neutrally. I don't care.
Baker's cocky head and says, okay, depth. You talk about depth. Tillman, Pritchard, Hauser. That's depth.
Yes.
These guys are as good as the send bench players.
What you look at the names on the coming off the bench for the Mavs. Lively, Jones, Green. And guess what? Those guys you just named for Boston average more than the guys coming off the bench for Dallas. This is the playoffs. The rotations are not 10 guys deep. They're like 7 or 8. Those 3 guys giving you 8 or 9 points a game is what you need from them.
Yeah.
They're not going to, you're not getting when you go to your bench, you don't get 5 new guys off the bench and have them play. You mix them in with the guys that are on the floor, your stars, so you can get some guys a breather. That's depth.
And I think now you have a well-rested kind of whatever we'll find out tonight, however healed he is, Kristaps Porzingis. And that's a 7-footer that's as agile as a butterfly and can hit from basically anywhere on the floor. And he plays a pretty decent center. So, I mean, I think the edge right now is to the Celtics, but we'll have to wait and see. Dallas is a veteran team. And, has Luka won a championship? I think he won a championship, didn't he, with Dallas? No, he did not. All right.
Not yet.
But
you had just beat Phoenix.
You might one day, but not yet.
You had Jason Kidd, who was on the championship team, and he's coaching. He knows what that championship experience is like. You've got Kyrie Irving, who knows what that championship is like. And I haven't looked at their bench. I'm sure you've got somebody else on there with championship experience. These guys are working well together. They're in rhythm, and it seems to be like a brotherhood going on in Dallas. So I wouldn't rule I think this is going to be a great series. I don't think there's one team that's better than the other. I don't see it, but I'm not a basketball soothsayer either.
I just think when I say depth, I don't mean that they've got superstars coming off of the bench too. Just guys that go in and, hey, here's a guy that plays 15, 16 minutes a game, but he gives you a bunch of rebounds, or he gives you some energy, or he gives you 7 or 8 points in a crucial stretch of the game. That's depth. Yes.
Baker's cocky hen says Lively is 19 and better than all 3 of the Celtics guys. Having Horford on the bench, if Zingas can play, does help, but the Mavs bench is just as good as those guys, in my opinion. People are sleeping on their bench. PJ Washington, much better than anyone is given credit for.
I didn't say the Mavs weren't deep. I just said I thought.
We said they were deep. They're not shallow, is what we said.
Yeah, I just said I thought the Celtics bench was a little deeper.
I feel like nobody listens to it.
Which is weird considering what. This is a radio show. You can pretty much only listen to it.
Because if it's Monday, I mean, it seems like people are grouchy.
I think now I start to understand what Keon gets whenever he fights with us. And I think I'm starting to see it now.
Do we fight with Keon? We don't fight with Keon. Never.
He fights with us. I don't know.
Well,
888-368.
I fight with windmills.
1580. Bat Flipper says Luka gonna have 40-point triple-double today. Tatum has all the skills, but he disappears too much.
I don't know that Luka's going to have 40 today. He might have a big game today, but you got Drew Holiday on that team. You got Derek White on the team. Both are excellent defenders. I don't think you lock down Luka, but I don't think he's going to, just walk into the Boston TD Gardens there and just throw up 40 points tonight to make a point.
I don't think he gets to 40, but he is averaging 34 points a game this playoffs. And he's basically averaging a triple double. He's just a few percentage points short of 10 rebounds and just a few percentage points short of 10 assists. He's like 9.2, 9.5 for both of those or something like that.
It's going to be a great series either way.
So individually, he can give you an awful lot.
Chief Skull says, did Keon say the Mavs bench isn't deep?
I didn't say
You see what I'm talking about here?
I
You see what I'm talking about here?
I just didn't say anything even remotely like that. But that's fine.
Listen, we got bigger trouble. There's
trouble in River City.
Somebody just sent this to me. I think it might have been Choro. Choro sends me things, and then you have to take them with a grain of salt. But if this is true, I'm going to need supplies. The story comes out. Giant parachuting spiders are spreading in the United States this summer. They're giant, invasive, and able to parachute. So they becoming fallen spiders will be coming at you like D-Day guys from the sky. And I'm going to need a flamethrower.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need the biggest of fly swatters.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a machete. I'm going to need some tools.
Probably not a machete. Probably.
I think they're giant.
Well, the flying, the flamethrower to get the flying ones.
Gonna need a net.
Maybe. Yeah.
I saw the video from a few years ago of when they landed in Brazil. Yeah. Flamethrowers everywhere. Install them on your house, mount them.
They're on the way.
Yeah.
I gotta find that video. I want to see what I'm up against.
Not getting me.
I don't even care because it just gives me an excuse to get the supplies. I'm not so much a doomsday prepper. I'm a doomsday, opportunistic.
Yeah, just an excuse to get a flamethrower. Yeah,
spiders are coming. We're gonna need some flamethrowers.
Need some flamethrowers immediately.
You sure we need flamethrowers? We need at least one. Okay. I'll say we need 3 flamethrowers, but then I can
you can bargain.
End up getting one.
Yeah. Got to have negotiating room on this. Great. Flying spiders.
Just what we needed. Just what we needed.
So back to the basketball. Well, hold on. People still want to say some things. Chief Skull says Charo's correct. They say it's out east, and there are 4 in venomous spiders that can parachute using their webs. They're venomous?
They're also okay. So flamethrowers are absolutely going to be required then. Like that's not just an annoying creature now. That's just that could kill you.
I didn't know they were venomous. I'm just
that's just going to make your argument stronger though.
Mm-hmm. Now, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to repipe my irrigation to a propane tank. Right?
That's smart, Jeffco.
And then when they start to come down, every irrigation. My whole yard will just be ablaze. No spider will survive coming at my house. Yes. I don't know about the house, but at least the spiders will not survive. Dear God. CK says, Keon, I specifically heard you say the Celtics bench were superstars.
You heard me say that, huh? You heard me say that they had a superstar bench that I thought Peyton Pritchard, who I really liked in college, and he played at Oregon. I said he was a superstar, did I? Yeah, it's interesting. That's fascinating.
Chase Budinger. Remember him? No, you don't.
I don't.
Nobody knows Chase Budinger.
It's racking my brain. I can't recall who that is.
He used to play the basketball, and he played for the Timberwolves. Actually, he's one of the goofy white guys of the past. Every team's got a goofy looking white guy on it. There's some sort of a rule that we don't know about, but he was that goofy looking white guy that played for the Timberwolves.
Yes.
Well, now he has moved on and he's playing Olympic beach volleyball, and he's playing for the United States on the Olympic beach volleyball team. I'm guessing men's division.
I mean, I would hope.
Well, yeah.
But you never know, I guess.
I saw a picture of him. It's men's division.
And it says he and his partner, Miles Evans. Oh, that's nice. That's nice that him and his...
I'm pretty sure he means volleyball partner because it's a 2-on-2.
Oh, I thought it meant partner.
No.
Oh. Well, this is going to be a good story for Pride Month, but I guess not.
No, not really.
Homophobe Chase Budinger is going to go ahead.
Now, hold on. That's the other extreme.
Wait a minute.
It just meant that he had a volleyball partner.
Wait a minute.
I really thought that's what that meant in the story. I God is my witness. So anyway, yeah, it makes sense though. Basketball players should.
It translates, you got to get vertical.
Spike the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even have to get vertical if you're like 6'8". You just stand there,
which he is,
just
actually.
like that. Just swat that crap down. It makes sense. So hopefully this gives the United States an edge towards some medal in France. Wouldn't that be nice? By the way, we're 50 days away from a lot of crap nobody cares about.
It's going to be hard to root for him.
The Paris Olympics. Wait, what? Why is it going to be hard to root for him?
He's from Arizona.
Oh, good.
He went to Arizona.
Why would you tell me that?
I just feel like you
should have
know.
told me that. You shouldn't have told me.
Just for
See, now
transparency.
Yep.
For transparency.
Bad taste in the mouth right there.
Yeah.
Because he looked familiar when I Googled him. And I was like, oh, wait.
Guess we won't be watching that one. But the Paris Olympics, 50 days away, and there's still some issues. There are always issues. Every time we have an Olympics somewhere, they're not 100% ready. And there's always something like housing, wherever it was the last time, and then other things. Ooh, geez, I hope there's enough snow.
Well, I remember the one in Brazil. The rivers were so dirty they were poop rivers.
Well, that's what we got in France. More poop rivers. The sign.
Oh my God.
The sign, right there. There's a river there, and here's what they were supposed to do: a delegation for every country was supposed to become ferried down the river, and then then they're going to have a marathon swim there. The triathlon will go there, and they're like, "There's an awful lot of poo in this river." And it's a century-old problem. They have had problems with poo in the river for 100 years, and they spent $1.5 billion trying to fix the old Frenchy French sewage system. And so far, still a lot of poo in the water. When you send your poo down to the water instead of taking care of it other ways, you get poo water. Yes, Randy.
Is it some sort of like tradition there in France to go crap in the river? Is that the thing? It's just
lift the leg,
you have
drop
all these
drawers.
guys with their crusty bread and their moldy cheese and their
Smoking
cigarettes.
a cigarette,
Just dropping one right there in the old river.
Mm-hmm.
This is now 2 Summer Olympics in a row.
Yeah,
they had the poo rivers.
Yeah,
a lot of poo. It's almost as bad as the Salt River. Enjoy your tubing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh no, I've been officially scared away from that.
Yeah,
Well,
don't do it.
as an
Just don't do it.
experience.
Do it if you want malaria, but other than that, no.
Well, see, because I checked with my doctor and I found out I in fact do not want malaria.
There you go.
Yeah.
Huh.
Imagine that.
Hepatitis, we can arrange that at the Salt River.
I also would not like the hepatitis, if that's
All right.
okay.
Okay, there you
That's
go.
all right with everyone.
I think you get it just by driving by it. Look out there. I got eye hepatitis now. My eyes
turned yellow.
Yeah. Great. Now I got Michael Jordan eyes. Fantastic.
Oh my God.
So they're saying that they're going to get it sorted, but a lot of people are saying, I don't know how you possibly can. And so I guess the water, they're going to test every morning during the Olympics. And if pollution levels are too high, they might delay some events. I really am not sure. If you keep pooping in the water, you can't unpoop the water. Here's the thing. You should have stopped pooping in the water a long time ago. Send that sewage someplace else. How about not the water, not the river? And then you're like, hey, we're going to have some Olympics. Let's include the river. No, let's not include the river.
You won the bid to host the Olympics like 8 years ago. How have you not gotten this sorted?
Everybody's going to be on antibiotics. Everybody, I'm serious. That they're going to have any of these people who are doing events in or around there are going to have to be popping some pills just to make sure they don't, die.
I'll just be 100% honest with you. I don't care how high level an athlete I am. I don't know if I love my country enough to swim in a poop river for it.
Yeah, that's a hard no for me.
No, we'll just have to make the gold medals up somewhere else, man.
I'll go to the event. I will be at the event. And if they say the poop levels are very high, Well, I'm not getting in.
Yeah, no.
Coach, where's the backup? Put them in
The
there.
poop
Let them
levels need to be almost zero.
Hey,
That's
backup. Hope you had a tetanus shot. Boosh, get in. I'm with you. I'm not jumping in poop water.
No way.
To hell with that.
There
I
is
say.
not enough patriotism and national pride to make that happen. There just isn't.
That poop water for you? No. In America, we've got polluted water, but at least it's not poop water.
Surely we can find in this
We
country
have
a single.
We've got all sorts of things. In fact, if anything, there are so many prescription drugs flowing from our sewers into the water.
It's treated already.
We could cure everyone who swims there.
Yeah, well, unless you're in Flint, Michigan. Other than that, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Well, let's
Yeah.
not have the Olympics there.
Yeah.
Don't think they're putting in a bid anytime soon.
No.
We have to take a break. When we come back, let's talk about some other things. Yeah, we got some international sports things still yet to go, some baseball and stuff. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-345-2789. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-345-2789. 800-345-2789 or biglou.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains from June 7th through the 10th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
This Father's Day, the Home Depot has same-day delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad be everything he can be. Because your dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Let the Home Depot help power Dad's doing with the convenience and gas-like power of Milwaukee cordless outdoor tools. Plus, get up to $150 off select Milwaukee tools. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
The Arizona primary election is coming up on July 30th, 2024. That means the deadline to register to vote for this election is July 1st. Every voter has ballot options to choose from. Based on your party affiliation, learn which ballot you can request. Just head to arizona.vote. That's arizona.vote or call 1-877-THE-VOTE. Make your vote count. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
It's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So that Boeing spaceship just docked with the International Space Station.
Did it feel good?
All I know is I would guess all the somebody from their respective countries should let anyone up there know. Probably don't want to sit next to the hatches of the Boeing spacecraft up there.
Yeah.
Just saying they've had a few issues. Maybe close the airlock on that side because, that's really risky up there.
Stay away from the hatches. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. 888-368-1580. Oh, yeah, we'll see you now. Pierre can't get too mad. Pierre can't say much about nothing because he is Canadian. He is French Canadian.
French Canadian, yes.
But he's not from France. He's from the Canadian. And he says, as I appreciate, but there's a lot of discussion. You've seen the big shake-up today in the world of cricket. I'm going to stop you right there, buddy. We thought you wanted to talk about the poo-poo water in France, and we 0% care about cricket, even if the United States beat Pakistan. We just don't care.
Yeah. I went to the Yahoo Sports, and it was on the front page, and I was like, is anybody gonna understand any of this? I grew up in a house where my dad watched cricket. It was literally his favorite sport to watch. I watched it with this man for hours. I still do not understand the game of cricket. It makes none sense to me at all.
And what I have kind of learned is that people in the countries where cricket's supposed to be popular also don't care. In fact, Major League Baseball is getting ready to go to London and play a series there. They got the Mets and the Phillies, and sorry, we couldn't send you some real baseball, but the Mets and the Phillies are going over there, and they're having some games, and they know what they're doing over there in London because they're like, hey, we're gonna do some American style food for the ballpark. They got the boomstick hot dog and the boomstick nachos. What is that? 2 foot long hot dog covered in just everything, or a 2 foot long thing of nachos.
Oh,
one on the top is the hot dog, the one on the bottom is the nachos. You can barely tell the difference, but I think 2 feet of nachos ain't hard to do. But I think I would take the nachos. I would rather have the nachos than the 2 foot long hot dog. What about you?
Yeah, I'm leaning on the nachos.
I'm with you guys. That looks good.
Sharing nachos with your pal, no big deal. Sharing a hot dog that could be awkward. I mean, Randy would eat from one end, I'd eat from the other. The way we have a Lady and the Tramp moment, that'd be awkward.
Yeah.
I don't.
You could just.
And it's like a game of chicken because he's going to want as much hot dog as he can get. I'm going to want as much, and we're not going to want to stop. And at the end, we're going to ice it like a 3 inches of hot dog left. You're like, you stop. No, you stop. And then
that's the way it always goes. Yep.
Next thing you know, we're making out, and I don't need that. I mean, I'll do what I got to do.
Last time. Well, yeah.
I'll do what I got to do to get all the wiener in my mouth I can get in my mouth.
Well, yes.
But, I mean, I just feel like we'd probably just cut it in half. I think that maybe we'd cut it in half.
Like, wouldn't it be easier just to tear it in half? But
we didn't think ahead.
Tear? No.
If you're at the ballpark,
we'll get a plastic knife and
plastic knife.
Take care of business there.
Fair enough.
So just to make sure there's no issues at all, though, nachos. Probably go nachos. Let's get caught up on the text line. Chief Skull says, I thought I heard Keon say the Mavs bench sucked buttermilk. He didn't say that either.
Don't think that's what he said. No.
I think a lot of the fourth dimension needs to get their hearing checked. It's or their mentals checked.
I would agree.
We should have a party and everybody. You stick those wax candle things in your ear that pulls the earwax out. You just burn it, just lay there at the tables and everybody burns their earwax out.
What do you mean wax candle things?
They got these little cone things that they stick it in your ear. You lay on your side.
You don't say.
They stick it in your ear and they light the tip, and there's some sort of heat and suction that pulls all the earwax out of your ear. I've never done it. I've heard about it.
Ooh.
But I thought
I almost just don't want to see how much is in there.
It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, I know. That's I just rather pretend that
Kim's got a bunch of those candles in one of the drawers out there we use for special occasions. I could probably just get one of those, don't you think? And jam that in my ear canal. And
no, this is a special candle. This is an ear candle. Those are eye candles. You need ear candles. Maybe we should get some and just have a remote broadcast where everybody gets
gets all the stuff sucked out of
I
their head.
definitely don't
Mhm.
want to see that from somebody else. Like, that's just too much earwax.
Whoever has the most earwax gets a prize.
So you're feeling like Keon is like I not no but hell no. I think I would be in on that. I think
I'd
that'd
like
be
to-
interesting as hell.
I'd like to clear out whatever is in there that I can't reach.
Damn right.
Hurry Harry says, I've done the earwax candle thing, and it works.
Really?
I have no doubt that it works.
I don't doubt it either. I just
want to try it.
I would rather try that with less people there than a remote. Far less people.
Baker's
What are you talking
Cocky
about?
Hen
That would be
says
fun.
that he thinks that maybe swimming in Tempe Town Lake could be as bad as France's Poo Poo River. I don't think
You
it
think
could
so?
be as bad as that. No. It's bad. I ain't saying it's good, but it ain't Poo Poo River bad.
Well,
Pinocchio says, I'm not racing in a river where a dog log could beat me.
Dog log.
That's a good point. Choro says, Kyrie smudging the arena is what I needed for the day. What? What does that mean?
Smudging the arena?
Did he just make me say something that's
No, I don't think so, but I don't know.
Glendale Runner says, look up Buddy Hackett's wax job on YouTube. It's a funny joke. No idea what you're talking about, Glendale Runner. But I guess we'll have to now thank you for giving us homework.
Try to take that home and take a look at it.
Chief Skull says, in my bet is on Big George for most earwax. That cranium has to have like good sized ears. Yeah, he's 7 feet tall. He's got a giant head. But I'm 53, which means I may have more stored earwax than
That's
him.
true. That's
so
true.
who knows?
All right.
Randy gets this done, and we can make a couple of candles for the dinner table.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Romantic.
Yeah.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, most earwax wins a vasectomy.
Combine two ideas.
George could probably use a vasectomy. He's been squirting out kids left and right.
His
See,
poor
I don't
wife.
think I don't think
Those
I need one
large
anymore.
kids.
You
said
don't
George-
need one.
No.
Why not?
We're not going to have any kids.
That you know of. Tony
Let's
Randall was having kids when he was like 80. Al Pacino's cranking out kids in his 80s. Robert De Niro's cranking out kids in his 80s.
Not gonna have.
You're young.
Not going to have any kids. Thank you. No. Nope.
You might want to check with Kim on this.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey,
What
Kim,
if
we're
she's
not
got
having
ideas?
kids.
What if she's
No,
got
she-
ideas?
No, she doesn't.
I feel like they're on the same page on this.
The fact that we both pass out when the grandchildren leave the house tells me we're not going to have any kids.
I pass out if I hear someone's coming to the house. The Jet says use sage to smoke off, any bad juju.
Well, he didn't do that now.
Yeah, I don't think
did
that
he?
was recent. Was it? I remember he did it before. He came in early, like around shoot around time, and had some sage to, I don't know, ward off the evil spirits of whatever was going on in the stadium, because he's weird like that. But I didn't think that was recent.
By the way, Pierre thanks our country for what happened 80 years ago today. That's why he was still able to speak French. Yeah. Anytime, Pierre. Anytime. Next time, try harder. I'm just saying.
And cue the text from Pierre.
if he's from French,
Ah,
if he's
how
from the
dare you
French
say
Canada,
that.
though, then that means that his people were there before that happened.
Yeah.
Well, here's what he says. He said the great Americans and evil British began the liberation of France. The British weren't evil.
No,
they were helping
what
you.
You need to understand is that the British can do the nicest things for the French. They hate the British, and the British hate them too. And they will never, ever, ever admit anything good or positive about the British.
It's like U of A and ASU, I guess.
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
It's real. Like that is a World Cup matchup. I don't really care what's going on. I always watch. There's real hatred going on out there. Genuine.
That's fun. Big George says, for the record, my cranium is full of so much earwax. I have to go to the ENT to have them remove the earwax with a special tool. And yes, I probably could use a vasectomy, but not until my wife and I have a little girl. So if we end up with 11 boys, so be it. We'll start a football team.
No.
All right, Phil Rivers of the future.
Thank God you're making money as a lawyer.
I'm just
poor woman.
I just don't
poor
think,
woman. How about his poor bank account?
No, that poor woman because
his poor headache from hearing all them screaming kids because she don't want to stop till they have a girl.
The kids they already have are enormous. That poor woman's got to go. Could potentially have 11 kids. He's not willing to stop until there's maybe 11 of them.
If I was a doctor and I see Big George and his little wife come walking in for an appointment, I'd be like, C-section? C-section. Yeah, definitely going to be a C-section.
And how many times are you going to put her through that?
That kid, you should not have that kid
9 more
size
times
walking out of her. This is a bad idea. Yeah, Big George, get off her.
Just give her a break.
Leave her alone. Which one of you guys is saying we must have a baby girl before we stop?
Because if it's her, then she knows what she signed up for. But if it's you, Big George,
I feel like you guys should be on the same page. Hey, Randy, did you see Paul Skeens strike out Shohei Ohtani? Oh my God, those pitches! 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. Bam, bam, bam. Oh,
yeah, he consistently throws up there at 100 plus, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Cop Stash energy. Look at him.
Oh yeah.
Look at him with that.
Yeah.
That is a Cop Stash. That is not just a mustache.
That's Cop Stash right there. Yeah.
That is that's a mustache you see right before somebody pulls out a billy club. You know what I'm saying?
That's like 70s LAPD right there. You know,
that's the Trooper.
One Adam 12.
That's the Trooper Farva stash right there.
Farva for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man, these guys have mirrors, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, man. He does his thing, man. He just goes about his work.
I feel like
a night crawler landed under your nose.
I feel like a lot of times these athletes, like remember they had a couple of years where all the quarterbacks were having a mustache contest. I bleep you not. They were having a mustache contest, and it looked horrible. I think they just screwing around. I don't think that anybody sit there and goes, looks good. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look good. You look dumb. That looks really. I mean, there's very few people where they got a mustache and you're like,
yeah,
that dude that fits.
The thing is, you could be screwing around, but if you're a baseball player and you're screwing around and then you have a good game with the mustache, you're stuck with the mustache for the season. You're just
dare shave it off.
There's been mustaches throughout the ages. I think of Raleigh Fingers, the great Raleigh Fingers, who had a bicycle
that was
mustache.
Style. He was doing something with style. It was unique.
Was just, and he looked like Snidely Whiplash out there on the hill when he was throwing at you. And then Jim Catfish Hunter, he had a mustache not too different than Paul Skeens. So I mean, there's been a lot of guys. Black Jack, what was his name with the White Sox? He had a mustache. Yeah, there've been a lot of mustaches throughout the years in baseball.
You get a beard, you're like, hey, that dude's got a beard. You got a mustache, you're like, that guy's a pervert. Most mustaches just look pervy as hell. They just do. I don't know why. I don't make the rules.
It helps that he's not wearing glasses. If you got the glasses mustache combo and it's that specific mustache, and then the big frame serial killer glasses.
Sure. It's 500 yards and meet your neighbors. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is. Bringleberry says, combine the Cop Stash. You combine the Cop Stash with the Thinky Wheel.
Thinky Wheel, what do you get?
With the mullet, and you get an unstoppable juggernaut of an MLB pitcher, Randy Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
He had the goatee, though. So, it's Daily Blender.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This Father's Day, the Home Depot has same-day delivery on the perfect gift to help dad be everything he can be. Because your dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Let the Home Depot help power dad's doing with the convenience and gas-like power of Milwaukee cordless outdoor tools. Plus, get up to $150 off select Milwaukee tools. For everything dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
You're expanding your business and need to add to your fleet. Maybe you need another semi-truck or trailer. Don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used trucks and trailers. Whether you're an owner-operator or a fleet manager, I'll get the vehicles you need with a simple application and same-day approval. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353 or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. Court-appointed special advocates, known as CASAs, are assigned to children as advocates during their experience in the foster care system. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about court-appointed special advocates. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30-50-70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit IQannuity.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. All right, so, yeah. Well, it did not take long. It didn't take long before this sort of stuff started to happen. But I guess as you get more attention, that is the sort of thing you got to start to be aware of. I guess over at the Chicago Sky, they were at a hotel in Washington, D.C. because they were going to be playing the Mystics. And so old Kennedy Carter, she comes walking up, and then some dude comes at her with a camera, and he starts giving her some hell for, the whole Caitlin Clark thing, and starts making racist comments and saying all sorts of weird stuff. And so then luckily there was some security there that was able to step in between the two of them. But wow, this is the kind of thing. So now racists are going to come after them, and racists are going to come after those guys. And it's just now here we are. The whole narrative that everybody thought, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark because she's white, which was never true. But now the worst common denominator of humanity thinks it is, and now they're going to come get aggressive. So they've got to up security for every single WNBA team now, I guess.
Yeah, they have to. It's become an issue, and part of it is that it comes with the eyeballs, but I think that there are significantly more people watching now, and where before it was growing at a steady pace, so you could adjust things slowly as needed. Now this is becoming a concern that like the league's going to have to move very fast to address it, to just make sure that these players are safe, because we've seen wackos take things too far, and we've talked about it on this show a bunch of times. There are people who are too comfortable with professional athletes and just think that they can go up to anybody and say anything. And that is...
Well, this coward, though, did he come running after Draymond Green when he kept trying to strangle another white guy and our guy? What was the guy's name?
He's tried to strangle Nurkic.
Nurkic,
stepped
that's
on
right.
Domantas Sabonis.
Right. He's trying to strangle white guys. Why aren't you going after Draymond? I dare you.
You think you know how that would end?
Yeah. You're not going to win that one, are you? Yo, you're going to go after a girl. You're not going to go after Draymond?
It probably ends pretty poorly going after Kennedy Carter, too, to be honest. But that's neither here nor there.
He's going to feel more brave because
Yeah.
she's a woman. And he was making misogynistic remarks along with the racist remarks when he went after her. So,
it's just weird that you're trying to defend the honor of Caitlin Clark in a way that she would not like either. Like, I don't know why it is that there's a group of people who are like, oh, like they're going after Caitlin Clark because she's white, and then they decide to just unload a bunch of racism and misogyny, and you're looking at Caitlin Clark going, do you think that is something that she would want to have happen with her name on it?
Did Caitlin say anything? I didn't hear that she said anything. Did she
About
respond in
this?
some manner? Yeah.
Why would she respond? This had nothing to do with her. Unless she galoolied. That's her galooly.
Well, no, because I'm hearing you guys talk about Caitlin Clark.
Well, he was making comments about what Kennedy Carter did to Caitlin Clark.
He was talking about the hip check, and so he's coming after her, and he's essentially using all of these racial epithets coming at her over essentially a hip check.
Yeah,
like nobody got hurt. Like this is just not. I mean,
the unfortunate thing is, you're right. She is in the spotlight. I mean, Jeffrey, we've had our experiences with kind of weird people too that get a little too comfortable, a little too close with us as well. And I mean, this is really kind of a sad thing. I'm surprised that the WNBA is not already set up security for all these teams.
I don't know if this was WNBA security or if it was hotel security that helped stop this from becoming a real incident.
Mm-hmm.
But I would imagine it's got the eyeballs of everybody at the WNBA, and I would be shocked. Watch them though come and say, "All right, listen, guys, we only have so much money. So charter flight or security? Which one do you want?"
I mean,
which, though, to be honest, you might need both, because
both,
if you're going to put them on, like, say you take away the charter flight to give security, well, you're putting them on planes with enough people over the course of a season. You're going to run into the very people the security be protecting you from anyway. Like the flights might actually be more important now than they used to be.
Ray says, "Are we sure the person that attacked Kennedy Carter wasn't Neil from the Weekend Warrior? Since he's got a big thing for Caitlin Clark."
That's a good point right there. Yeah.
Well, no, because I don't think that Neil would be brave enough to attack anybody.
That's a good point.
There are small children that Neil would be like, do I push your eye? No. I don't think that Neil would be able to make that happen.
But I will make a call and check on him.
Let's see how he's
Baker's Cocky Hen says, "I'm pretty confident a hip check would hurt. It'd hurt me a lot worse than any words you could muster up, to be honest."
A hip check does not hurt that much. I'm sorry. I've played a lot of basketball. I have been hip checked by people. I've delivered a few.
But you don't know Baker Cocky Hens. Maybe he's had a hip replacement.
I mean, maybe, but like, come on. Did you see how hard that hit was? That wasn't anything, man.
So Last Optimist says, "I watched the video of the WNBA incident. The team blew it way out of proportion. The photographer was 6 feet away at all times, walking backwards away from the players, asking questions. No one had to intervene to save the players." Okay, well, that's interesting. So were you able to hear audio? Because
I didn't see a video, so that this is just me going based on what is in text.
Yeah, and on my headline here, it says security steps in between man and Kennedy Carter. So he may not have been close, but somebody stepped in between them to make him stop. And they were saying he was making racist and misogynistic remarks. 6 feet ain't that far away.
It
6
really
feet
isn't.
is pretty damn close, especially if somebody starts making racist comments. Then now, that's uncomfortably close, because then the next thing that comes after racist comments, generally violence. So, you know what? You got us, because I have not seen the video, but unless you could hear it and you say, oh, well, he never said those things. So, I guess we got to look that thing
but
up.
Still, even 6 feet away, you're just like, people just step off the bus or just step out of the hotel or whatever the case may be, and all of a sudden you've got somebody harassing you in your face. Is 6 feet really an adequate amount of distance? Like, I personally, I don't think that you should be sick that close, lobbing insults and remarks at any stranger. Like, that's not just them, anybody. Like, if you're 6 feet away from me insulting me, you're too close. And that at first it'll be too close for me, and it's about to be too close for you. Like, that can't be the way that you go about carrying yourself, and I won't excuse that. That's ridiculous.
Do we still want to talk about George squirting out all these kids?
I mean, it's funny.
Well, I mean, issue one, George is not the one squirting the kids
See,
out.
that's the thing.
Well, him and his wife. I mean, I know they're not.
His wife is the one
if she
that
was
goes through that.
If she was 7 feet tall, then it'd be like, okay,
Right.
maybe she can handle it.
She's
These children are
normal-sized.
large. She's normal size. I'm concerned.
So here's what he says. We both feel the same way about having a girl. I exaggerate the 11 kids thing, but she said she'd be happy with 5 or 6 boys.
Wow.
But if the next child's a girl, we'd be done. So far, all the kids have been delivered vaginally. You could just say normally.
You could
just
say
say
regularly.
regularly.
You really could have. You didn't have to.
You didn't have to say vaginally.
But that's okay. That's fine. It's
through the vagina.
Okay.
They only start growing when they come out of the womb. So they come out normally vaginally.
Well, yeah, they start growing, but some you've seen some kids that grow up to be large. They are born larger than most babies.
Yeah. So were all
No
your
one's saying
babies born normally as they came out of her vagina?
Okay.
I'm using technical terms here. Why
I
are
know-
you uncomfortable?
I don't know. I think
Is
it's
it the
because
way I'm saying it?
No, I think it's because
Seems like you're saying it in italics.
we're saying
I
the-
don't know why.
we're saying the term about a specific person, and it just feels weird now. To
It
me,
is. It
to me.
does. You know what though? I haven't met her, so I'm okay.
She's still abstract to you.
All right, I'll stop saying it. So he says when they come out, the vajayjay. Is that better?
I don't know that he said that.
An
I
issue
don't
of
think-
a
I don't think
J.
George said-
Issue of
the
the Greece.
vajayjay?
Look, say what you got.
Vajay?
Say what you got to say. I'll work.
When they come out the chute, they're like normal sized babies.
And when the babies come out the hoo-ha.
Right.
Okay.
So is that what you're
'Cause
saying?
have you ever seen some babies where the baby is like, I forget, whatever amount of pounds the baby is born? You're like, wow, that is a large child.
It's like a barrel chest. It just, yeah, no. A big fan of the C-section in that moment. Big fan. But no, he says they came out normal, and that's how they grew into this. So, all right. Well, listen, that's none of our business. That part's really none of our business.
Like how specific you were is particularly none of our business, but
let her know that everybody just heard that she had her babies vaginally.
I would not let her know that personally. I would keep that between you and us, to be honest. If she hasn't heard already.
The Tom says, you notice. Well, hold on, damn it. My thinky wheel is happening again here. I'm gonna have to make
dun, dun, dun. I need that music. Where is it at?
Here we go. You notice no one ever came up to Charles Oakley in a hotel with a racial remark. Good point.
It's because he was built like a highway overpass. Like that's just have fun with that.
Ringless Joe says Dallas versus Boston today. Celtics versus Mavericks. Is there any way they could both lose this series? Honestly, can't decide which team I hate more. Boston fans are obnoxious, but Dallas and crying Doncic winning would Be another insult in the never-ending wellspring of suffering the Arizona sports fans have been forced to endure. It's very well said. And like I said, I'm just saying Boston because I'm Irish. Outside of that, I don't want to really associate with the Boston racists, and there's a lot of them there. I ain't saying everybody there is, a lot of them, and I don't like Dallas either. No more than any other Arizona sports fan. I punchable face Luca versus dudes from a racist ass city. This is not easy for anyone. This is not easy. Just all we can hope is there's some. Okay, here's what we hope for: good basketball, a fair amount of violence, and a meteor for Game 7.
Who's going to win this series? Well, hopefully the Meteor. If any of us are lucky.
Ask the dinosaurs. You always bet on the Meteor. Halfy Lefty says, I imagine Big George and his wife, Big George and his wife like this. Oh, he sent a picture of the mountain and his wife. That picture of that dude that's just about damn accurate right there. That is, in fact, I think the mountain's wife might be taller than George's. Just, just go look at the Facebook or something. What are you asking me? Last Optimist says, it sounds like Big George's wife is operating at peak efficiency. That's a great way to put it. Beer Bob says, I really hope Big George listens to the show with earbuds at his office. I can't imagine it being played out loud. You guys talking about his earwax and vasectomy and vaginal. Yeah, that's a good point. I think he works from home.
So there's that.
I hope he works from home.
I sure do too.
When he's not in court, he's at home. Yeah.
I'm really hoping if only one thing happens from today's show.
What's that?
That everybody from now on says vaginale.
All right.
Of the vagina. That'd be the one thing I get started. Trying to get my saying started. Sweet monkey meat. I've always hoped that would get a take off. It never did. I mean, I haven't heard very many people say it. So, but vaginale. If I'm like walking down like through the mall and I hear somebody say vaginale, I'll be like, yes.
Just smile to yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of racists, it feels like a good segue to former NASCAR Cup Series driver Ty Scott getting arrested for his role in the January 6th Capitol riot. It took him a while to finally catch up to this guy. Him and his son, father and son time. I guess we're at the riot, storming the Capitol, and he got identified because somebody says that dude told us he was a NASCAR driver. Well,
why would you do that?
Probably should have kept that to yourself. But what he was. What did he do? They said here what he actually did. So he got charged with 2 felonies, along with misdemeanors for assaulting police officers, and because they actually did put hands on some people. And Scott was accused of attempting to take a shield out of an officer's hands, and his son allegedly had a golf club with him. So they were not just there going, yay, they were up to no good. So they were involved in the assault. And he's 75 years old now. He was in the 89 different Cup Series races over 6 seasons from 1976 to 82. Did you ever hear this guy? Ty Scott?
No, never heard of him. He was probably one of those also ran guys, who just kind of out there doing circles.
Yeah. Well, now he's a felon. So
play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Yeah. That's what I always say.
Ringless Joe says, as much as I hate Boston, I think Crying Doncic winning would be worse. Yeah, that's kind of the way I feel too. Because it was up to one of the Eastern Conference teams to stop the Celtics, and they all failed. So too late. Halfy Lefty says, saying vaginale as opposed to normale might help fight the stigma towards C-sections that some women feel. Plus, vaginale. It's fun to say.
It
Oh,
is
I
fun
know
to say.
people. If you're driving in your car, just take a moment and say it. Just say it. Vaginale. That's fun.
I'm actually shocked we haven't heard from Brunswick guy yet.
Or
in the car with his
moist
kids.
one.
His kids are in the back going, vaginale. Vaginale. Just a word. Can't hurt you.
It can't. I just think that because of how sensitive Brunswick guy has described his kids as being,
Yeah. That's on him. Hurry Harry says, you know what? I just said it, and you're correct. It is fun. I wouldn't lead you wrong. I would not lead you wrong. Vaginale.
It's also fun to hear. It cracks me up every time.
Do you think I'd be allowed to say anale?
I doubt it. Text from Radio Ron in 10, 9.
It's like you were good for a moment, man. You went too far. All right, let's take a break. We come back. We got some man talk ahead and some football. That's right, American football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580. Hold on. I can't hold on. Hurry Harry says, I'm driving north on 99th Avenue and I'm going to stop at the next stoplight, roll down the window and yell it.
Yes, please.
Oh, somebody record this. All right, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-8787. That's 1-800-280-8787. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-632-4055 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-632-4055. That's 800-632-4055. What do you have to lose? Call 800-632-4055. Again, 800-632-4055.
With the first pick. Now that the draft is in the books, it's that time of the season when the team gets together, to get acquainted. Summer means mini camp, OTAs, then preseason. Keep yourself tuned to the station with all the insight, updates, and breaking news you need to know about the NFL offseason. If it's the NFL, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I didn't know that, Choro. Choro sent me a little factoid. Says scientists have discovered that on occasion an octopus will punch a fish for no reason other than spite. Just sitting there, just hit a fish,
just to do it,
going by. I don't know. I mean, that's my spirit animal right there. I think
the octopus, the bully of the fish kingdom.
I
actually,
actually,
fish could be really annoying for all you know.
the fish could look like Luka.
Well, the octopus. I mean,
Did you ever think of that?
There are fish that look like Luka Doncic.
Like Luka Doncic looking
right there.
fish. Wouldn't you just? You got 8 arms. Use them for something.
All right, I have a few public service announcements for our little session of Man Talk right now.
Okay. Public service announcements.
First one, it's hot. Don't go outside and do dumb things. Don't try to hike. Don't try to garden. Don't try to. People are dumb as hell. People who are visiting from other places, the hotel will say, well, you probably don't do this. Don't go hiking. It's 110 today. And they're like, oh, no, I can handle it. And then they run out there and then they die and we need to get a helicopter.
Yeah.
It's a big problem there. But I have been asked officially by official type people to let you know that everyone is at risk for heat-related illnesses.
Yes.
No matter how healthy you are or how long you've lived in Arizona. And the people who asked me wanted me to show you this graphic here. There's a difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, heat exhaustion, if you get dizzy and you get thirsty and you're sweating and you're getting a little nauseous and you get, I feel weak, that could be heat exhaustion. And if you think that's what's happening, go inside where it's cooler. You know, loosen up some of your clothing there, because that's really for us because it's sexy as hell. Sip some cool water. Don't chug it. Just sip it some cool water. And if you don't start to feel better, it will go to the damn hospital. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Because
that's another good tip.
Heat exhaustion can lead to heat stroke. So then here's heat stroke. If you're confused, if you're dizzy, if you're not awake, so that's for somebody else to determine. If you're unconscious, call 911. Okay. You put that person in a cooler area, loosen their clothes. It's going to be awkward later when they're like, how did this happen? You're going to have to explain. So when I say loosen, don't go too far. And, give them cool them down some water or some ice or something like that. So you could die from heat stroke.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
So best bet, don't go outside.
Yeah. Stay inside.
When it's like 110, if it's over 100, just stay inside. Don't come to Arizona.
That's another good one.
We live here. We don't have a choice. If you're not from here, maybe show up in the fall.
Yeah.
I was talking to Paul Mercurio last week, the comedian, and he's like, I said, Paul, you've been here a handful of times. Why are they always sending you here when it's hot? Why don't you just say no? Don't go to Rick Bronson's House of Comedy when it's June. Like don't go in May, June, July, August, or September. And he's like, yeah, I gotta have a conversation with my agent about this. It's like, of course you do. You have a choice. Why are you coming here when it's hotter than hell?
There's a whole half of the year where it actually feels pretty nice living here. He show up one of those times.
He saw me after the show, a handshake and a little hug, and I was just like, "Oh, you nasty! Why are you wearing 2 shirts? I don't understand." But he was like, "Well, this is what I wear on stage, not in Arizona,
not here." Yeah, come on, man.
But if you have relatives visiting, don't unless it's like your mother-in-law and you've got a mission. Don't tell them not to hike. Don't let them become part of the problem out there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I was asked to tell you about that. Now I've told you. So
all right, there it is.
Personally, I don't mind.
This has been a public service announcement of Man Talk.
No, I mean, I just don't mind. I don't mind when people come here and then they don't listen and they end up going up there and dying. That doesn't bother me. You'd think it would just be like an example to others, but they keep doing it.
But it doesn't work that way.
They're not going to listen. So, okay. Yeah.
And they've been warned this time. So
like if I went to Alaska or if I went to Canada or if I even went to Buffalo, New York in the winter and they said, hey, it is really cold out there. Try not to be outside for more than a few minutes, or you're going to get frostbite, and your fingers and your nose, you're going to look like the guy from Fallout. It's going to come off. I'd listen. Wouldn't you listen?
Yeah.
So why don't people listen when they get here?
I mean,
that's a good question. Yeah.
Some people think that it's a toughness thing. It's not. It's practical. It's your body is going to reach a temperature where it cannot function properly, and then it will die if you're out in the sun too long. That's what we're saying, but some people see it as a challenge.
Right. That's what it is. A lot of people get told that, and they're like, "Nah, I'm good." It's like because they once felt warm and thought they could handle it, but people aren't doing that in the cold weather places. Why do they do it here? Dumb. Berg says, "Hey, good PSA, Jeffco." Thank you, Berg. Appreciate that. Rough Rob says, "What if you don't like your mother-in-law? And tell her to take a hike. Hey, it's beautiful weather. You should get out there."
Well,
I understand.
That's on you.
Well, I mean, there is that.
I understand. My mother-in-law was sweet. She was the nicest lady. So I would never have her do that. But no, I mean, I get it. Slomo Zoe says, also take care of your pets. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure they're if they're outside dogs, make sure they got shade and plenty of water. Maybe put a fan on them or something. I would not have outdoor dogs in Arizona. My dogs, I got a big ass doggy door. In fact, I was worried about Bebo. Bebo loves to lay outside in the sun. He was acting a little bit weird today, like maybe he'd gotten too much sun. And
yep.
So I had to close him in. I'm like, dude, you gotta slow down. You gotta take it easy there. Hopefully he'll figure it out. But I don't know if he's gonna, because he does. He sits out in the grass, right? And then he's like, goddamn bugs, goddamn bugs, goddamn. And you think, well, Bebo, get up out of the grass. But he's like, no, I'm sitting here, and these bugs are the problem. I'm not the problem. And so I don't know if he's going to figure out the bugs. He's not going to figure out the heat. So we may have to lock these dogs in during the hottest part of the day because, well, Bebo's dumb. Hefty Lefty says, just remember, if you stop sweating, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. If you stop sweating, you're in some trouble. That is heat stroke. Also, those people need water, but not cold water. You can go into shock if you give them too cold of water. No, that's a good point. Yeah. That is a good point. Noah says, no offense, Jeffrey, but you probably wouldn't last 2 minutes in the extreme cold of Canada. That's where you're wrong. Ask anybody who's ever been in the studio with me. I keep it frosty. And I also did negative 16 degrees when I was spending some time in Minnesota. I walked down the street backwards it wasn't a parka. It was just a good jacket. And I survived that. So, no, I think I could handle Canada. I'm also smart enough, if I'm going outside, gear up correctly. I think I'd be fine in Canada. You know why? Because I'd be indoors. Swazman says, Jeffrey, I think it's $75 round trip right now to fly in from Chicago. I only walk dogs in the summer before 9 a.m. Yeah, you got to be so careful with your dogs. Not only not having them, I don't understand the round trip part. Why are
people from Chicago don't want to come to Phoenix in the summer?
Oh, I see. But as far as the dogs, they're puppy pads. Their little their paw pads will burn on the sidewalk and on the pavement. And even if it's like 80 degrees, the temperature of the pavement comes up so much they could scorch and really end up hurt. So, like he says right there, he's only walking them before 9 a.m. Even then, at certain times, it might be too hot. So
yeah, when you get into July, even 9 might not be early enough.
Yeah. You just, I want to buy one of those laser temperature things and measure the sidewalk heat and measure the pavement heat so I don't accidentally hurt my dogs if we go on a walk. But this is the time of year that it's like, I'm like, whew, I don't have to go for a walk. That's nice. Nobody, honey, you want to go for a walk? It's too hot. Okay. Thank God for that. Men, as part of Man Talk, I want to encourage you guys, it should not have been and it should not be always up to her. The birth control. So about the birth control, Randy, Keon and I, we've never had to take birth control every day. We've never had to do that. We've had to carry it around in our wallet, and then later on, that unused indentation in our wallet becomes sort of a symbol of our failures, and then that kind of sucks. But we would carry around what we might need. But women, oh my God, they got to take a pill every day, and it messes with their hormones, and it causes this issue or that issue. And so we're like, women have been asking this forever. Like, well, why don't men have to do the birth control? Well, now they've come up with a male birth control gel, and you just rub it on your shoulder. It smells like hand sanitizer. It looks like hand sanitizer. You just get a little bit, and you just rub it, this clear gel on your shoulder, and then you let it dry, and then you go about your day. That is easier than taking a pill. Like, you're getting ready, you're just like, little bit, little that, there you go, and it's done. And just male birth control.
That's pretty interesting.
If this had been available for me, oh hell yeah, I'd have been doing that quite a bit. So, and then now they've got new versions of this same gel, which also contains testosterone and a synthetic hormone called testosterone. It reduces sperm production. And so now it's doing all sorts of stuff. So this little shoulder gel thing that they're going to start giving you, hell, I mean, you can sit there and go through your routine, right? Comb your hair, brush your teeth, put on the cologne, put on the don't have baby stuff. Easy as that. So
very easy, Jeffco.
I think the first chance you get, use it if it's available to you. And the guy that was trying, he's like, yeah, there's no side effects, but maybe a little back knee. You might get a little back knee where you're putting the stuff on, maybe a little weight gain. And the guy's like, but then again, I've been working from home, so maybe the weight gain had nothing to do with this. So I'm just saying, if we get a chance, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Brunswick guy says, I'm curious as to how male birth control works on your shoulder. Shouldn't you rub it on your stuff?
Well,
I wouldn't.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I would just follow the instructions. If there's a reason for it to be on the shoulders, put it on the shoulders. You put it on, as you put, your pee-pee.
Well, because it's affecting your body. So it's about where does it make sense for it to be absorbed into your bloodstream ultimately. It doesn't have to go. It will find its way to where it needs to go. It just needs to make contact with your skin.
8171 says, how long does your hand stay limp? I don't think that's how it works. It's not how it works.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think you do need to wash your hands after you use it.
Yeah.
Which might be a lot to ask of men. Morticia's man says, if you touch the ground with the back of your hand and it burns, then it's too hot for your pets. Yeah, I don't want to even trust the back of my hand. What if I got tough skin on the back of my hand? I don't know. But I mean, that's another good way to check it, Morticia's man. Beer Bob says, you could always check the temperature of the sidewalk by putting your palm on it. If you can't hold it there for 5 seconds, that's too hot for your dog. So we only walk our dogs super early in the morning. I walk the mother-in-law any time of the day. Swazman says, on a sports note, I'm taking the Celtics tonight, but Dallas in the series.
Ooh,
that's
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right.
I have another PSA for all of our men here in the Man Talk.
All right.
A lot of people, when they get on a plane, they're just like, you know what? This is a good time to have a few drinks. I'm not going to be driving. Somebody else is driving. So let's get liquored up and get on the plane. And some people do that to deal with their fear of flying. Somebody, maybe they're like, I just want to fall asleep. And they're like, there might be a baby crying or something. And so now this new study found this is a bad idea. It could kill you. Airplanes are pressurized. So it's like being 8,000 feet up where air pressure and oxygen levels are lower. And it affects your body in different ways. They studied the effects by having 48 adults sleep for 4 hours in a pressurized chamber that mimicked being in an airplane. Once with no alcohol, and then once after they had 2 drinks. In lower air pressure, sleeping after drinking put considerable strain on the heart, causing heart rates to rise and blood oxygen levels to plummet sometimes below the 85%. And as you know, that's bad. And all of those things combined, if you're at risk, could cause a medical episode. So they think older people with heart conditions, they're at the highest risk, but even strain the hearts of the younger people who are healthy and young, and that showed a difference. So they say it might affect people in first class more than people in coach, because when your seat is small and cramped, it's harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. But if you're in first class, you're like, you're out for the whole time. And that makes you more at risk. So just saying, listen, be aware of the risks there. And airlines might want to think about serving less booze, if at all. So this study is saying it could kill you. Man, I want to get drunk and fall asleep on the plane.
Who doesn't?
That's part of why. That's the only thing I look forward to about being on a plane.
They took away everything that's good.
This is
bacon, steak, getting drunk on a plane. What is next?
I mean, they took away the concept of bacon. They did not actually take away the bacon.
Oh no, I still have much bacon.
The bacon is not going anywhere.
Cause of death for Jeffrey O'Brien. Probably going to say bacon.
Probably bacon. Yeah.
Put that right on the line there. Anyway. All right. Enough of the man talk. Let's come back and talk some football. This is a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-632-4055 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-632-4055. That's 800-632-4055. What do you have to lose? Call 800-632-4055. Again, 800-632-4055.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with the surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Before becoming a professional announcer, I took the announcer oath, which forbids me from misleading listeners.
Just wrap your heads around the reality of that.
That means I speak the truth when I say you can listen to us on your smart speaker. Just say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Was BJ Thompson on a plane? Chiefs defensive lineman BJ Thompson had a heart attack after during Thursday's practice.
I heard he had a seizure first.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So he wasn't on the plane.
No.
Okay. Wow, that's you know what? We always wonder. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often, to be honest. You know, some of these guys, but yeah, that's scary. He had a seizure. Oh, during a team meeting, and then he went into a cardiac arrest.
Oh man,
yeah,
man.
That sometimes a seizure can trigger cardiac arrest, and that's what happened to him.
Gee whiz, is he okay? Did they any other reports on him? I hope he's all right.
The last I read, they hadn't it hadn't been updated to say he was okay or not. So,
well, here's hoping, man. That's scary as hell. I thought it was like in practice, but no, they were just in a meeting and that happened. Man. So yeah, Chiefs defensive lineman BJ Thompson.
They're saying he's stable in the hospital now. So
oh, good. Glad he's stable. Slow-mo Zoe says, interesting Colts fact. Okay. He says the 1982 Oilers had quarterbacks Archie Manning and Oliver Luck, fathers of Colts #1 overall picks Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Wow,
yeah, I think I remember that. They look a lot like their kids, which makes sense. You know, they're related.
I mean, you would hope.
Yeah,
I mean,
somebody's got some explaining to do,
right?
So then, well, speaking of Colts, Anthony Richardson, I'm like, oh no, his shoulder is sore. Yeah, he stepped out of practice today, and he's just handing off the ball right now.
Boy, I'm sorry, Jeffco.
He's like, I'm good. It's just a little soreness. I've been dealing with soreness since I started throwing. It's just my shoulder. He's like, I'll listen. It's hard to listen to the trainers sometimes. Like, you know, you got to sit out for a day. He's like, I don't want to sit out, but it's part of the healthy journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's when you're coming back from an injury like that, in order to prevent any future setbacks, you know, they're trying to ease you back into it because your muscles haven't built back up to where they were. Got to take that time off.
Hefty Lefty says, I went to college in Flagstaff, so I learned to drink at altitude. So I'll keep drinking my one Woodford Reserve in a flight of any duration.
It seems like the sleeping is also part of the issue.
It's more the issue than anything, actually.
Yeah. So
you get drunk on the plane, just don't fall asleep. It's kind of like when you get a concussion. Everyone's like, don't fall asleep. Okay, well, if you're going to drink in the plane, don't fall asleep.
Don't get comfy. Yeah. I'm
never comfy on a plane.
Yeah, I'm not a first class person yet in my life. So
when my wife and I went to, we had to fly to Paris and then go to Spain to get married. We didn't even go first class. We did business, like the special business class. And I'm like, that's first class enough for me. I was very, very comfortable. But then even then, after 6 hours, I was like, I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
So I might have to get me some first class if I'm going to Europe again or anything more than 3 or 4 hours. Oof, man, flying a couple hours, like 2.5 hours up to Oregon. I thought I was going to lose myself. I was so uncomfortable. Oh my God. I got to sit in that emergency exit row, you know, so I can stretch my legs out because if I'm sitting there all crunched up, you know what hurts? My ass. I don't know why, but my ass is what starts to hurt. And I don't know if it's the way your legs are or the way these chairs are and these damn planes, but my ass hurts if I fly for more than a couple hours.
Man,
is it just me?
It's my knees for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not even very long, like 45 minutes in, my knees are screaming.
Yeah. I guess everybody has a different thing. So I wonder why.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mean like my balloon nut. I'm just talking about my cheeks and down to my hamstrings. Just start to get real uncomfortable. Like really painful.
I get sore there as well, but for me, it's my back. I have a bad back anyway, and those seats are not made for people with bad backs. I'll tell you that much.
Really, not made for people.
Yeah, like if you have bad joints, like you know, because my knees are terrible. I'd ruin them the way I play basketball. But it's just if you have any particular issues with your joints or any particular body part, whatever it is, the plane is going to make it 10 times worse.
So yeah, I need to be in the emergency exit row where I can stretch out, or I need to be in first class or something better than steerage is what I need. And that's expensive.
Yeah.
Like I got to save up.
That's the way to do it though, man. Go first class.
The good news is we went first class. The bad news is we could only afford things off the dollar menu when we got there.
Yeah, well,
I'd be like, worth it. I didn't ask to come to this.
Yeah.
Right.
So we promised some football. So let's keep trying to deliver on that. Generally when a kicker talks, I'm just like, shut up. I don't care what you have to say. There's nothing a kicker says that I care about. And I'm not talking about Harrison Butker right now. I'm talking about Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker got himself in front of a microphone and said, I'm excited about this new kickoff rule. And by the way, before I get too deep into what he said, there's something about the way the new kickoff is going to work that I was not anticipating. I thought this was going to be a constant, nobody's actually going to return a kick situation. Everybody's going to do a touchback. Everybody's just going to do whatever. It looks like that now they're like, no, there's going to be returns. There's going to be some action. Some things are going to happen. They've devised it in a way where hopefully people aren't getting their heads crushed, but there's going to be action. And I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it happen. I haven't seen one of these kickoffs yet to really know for sure.
And I refuse to watch the UFL to find out.
Right. I think it's over by now, isn't it? Is the UFL still going?
I don't know.
Good man. Anyway, so so Justin Tucker is like, I can't wait. And he said, it turns out he's like, because I'm the last line of defense. And he's like, I want to tackle someone.
Oh boy.
Well, look,
you're lying.
You're a kicker. I think there are some kickers that are like, I could tackle somebody if I got the chance.
Okay.
You're delusional.
Can I help you? Justin Tucker, 6'1". Okay. 180 pounds.
We've all seen Justin
180
Tucker.
Pounds.
That is a slight human being.
Slender. Okay. He's he's
going to get demolished is what's going to happen.
You know what?
Like old Sebastian Janikowski back in the day. He could have hit somebody.
So at 6'1" and 180, Justin Tucker, if you put a fan on him, he's like one of those guys like this in front of a car dealership, just waving the arms all over the place. And that's the guy that's going to tackle anyone? Give me a break, man.
Yeah, it means that your special teams has severely screwed up if you wind up having Justin Tucker being a guy that needs to make a tackle for something to not be a touchdown.
Yeah, just get in the way, Tucker. Don't try to tackle. Just get in the way.
Even that, don't. Just get out the way because we need you to kick a field goal later. I think this is going to change some special team stuff. They're going to find somebody who all they got to do is just kick the hell out of the ball, and maybe they have more bulk and are able to tackle, and you save a guy like Justin Tucker to just kick the field goals. Because if you get Justin Tucker hurt on a kickoff, and then he's not able to kick a field goal later, that could cost you a game. And they may want to just add another player in there to just make it some special teams player. I don't know who, I don't know what, but you got to protect these kickers.
So are you saying that the game, as far as the special teams outlook goes, is going to get even more specialized? You're going to have a guy that kicks the ball off.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have another guy that's just going to be a extra point kicker.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen though. You you're allowed 53 spots, and you can figure it out however you want to. You could use one of your spots
if you lose a good field goal kicker.
But if you choose to use one of those those 53 spots to put an extra kicker to be your kickoff kicker, you are taking away from potential running back depth, linebacker depth, cornerback depth, and if you have somebody
you're not
go
going to
down,
sit there and tell me that kicking is not an important part of the game as much as they're not football players. And this is why you have to protect them. Justin Tucker is not a football player. He's 180 pounds. He's going to go, yeah, get to tackle. And the next thing is, in the arms of the angels.
And his soul will be floating out of the stadium.
Gone. He's gonna be dead.
I mean, him and a bunch of other guys that play that position.
And
but
then the team will take the L because then they don't have the guy to kick the extra point.
Here's
or
what
the
I
3
think.
points.
Some kicker is going to have to get absolutely demolished first before somebody says that that's a rule change that they're going to make to have a special designation.
If I
for
can
it.
foresee it, you don't think that the teams can foresee this? And they would say, hey, we
No.
need 54 roster
And I-
positions now.
And I know they can't because they got rid of that backup quarter or that extra quarterback that you're allowed to carry. And then all of a sudden we were watching an NFC playoff game, an NFC title game, no less, with the Niners and the Eagles. And the Niners were no Brock Purdy, no Josh Johnson. Like they were screwed. Absolutely screwed in that game. And it was anybody could have seen that coming. Like eventually it was going to happen to somebody. And they've only just now changed the rule back. So no, I don't think that the foresight is there in this league.
Then you need to dual roll somebody to do the kickoffs. You're doing this, but you're
So like
also doing that.
Like a punter kicker?
Yeah. Maybe the punter handles this part because you can lose a punter and survive. You can't lose your field goal guy. You got to, or just, hey, some tight end. How's your foot? Come on, we're going to do this thing. There you go. I mean, you got to protect these kickers. Something's going to have to either change or, well, I guess it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen a handful of kickers, over the years just get destroyed on that, but it just was unlikely.
Oh yeah, remember Antonio Brown did to Pat McAfee?
Yeah,
I was watching that game. I'm like, oh, you can do that?
I was waiting for the flag because it just felt wrong, and then there was no flag. You just kicked him right in his face.
Just there, yeah, it's no reason whatsoever. Just
wow, completely unnecessary. He could have gotten around him in any other way. He's like, I'm going to go right through you with my foot.
Ralph from Harmon Solar says, we talked about this Saturday. The Chiefs are looking to eyes a safety to kickoff. What the hell is he saying? Oh, I think he says just looking to use a safety. So one of a safety on their team, not like a 2-point safety. They're looking for a guy on defense who is a safety to do the kickoffs now. See, see, I tell you what.
Yeah.
I want to sit down with the coach, Coach Andy Reid, because I feel like he gets me, because I'm the one who's sitting there saying, "Hey guys,
get you okay."
Yeah. Right. I mean, thinking outside of the box is kind of an Andy Reid specialty. I'm just saying I know enough of people in the NFL in terms of how they talk about the game. They're not out of the box people generally. You're like, this is the way things have worked. My kicker kicks my kickoffs, and someone's going to get crushed first before they change it.
Yeah, I feel like the Chiefs are going to get this right. Then you just don't throw your guy out there to get demolished.
NFL is a copycat league. I promise that if a kicker or two gets hurt, and then everybody looks at what the Chiefs are doing, we'll see a bunch of safeties kicking off.
Man, it would be a dream come true for a returner to be like, all right, I got past that guy. Okay, all right, where's the kicker? There he is.
Where's he? Right?
I would make a beeline for that guy.
Who wouldn't? That's just count that as.
Jeffrey O'Brien's got the ball. Why is he running the other way? Oh, because the kicker is right there on the 15, and now he's running back the other way again. Oh my God! How did I would go 10 yards back just to obliterate the kicker?
The league is just lucky this rule wasn't instituted like 10 years ago. And Ndamukong Suh kicked field goals in an emergency situation. Can you imagine Ndamukong Suh being the guy you have to try and get past as your last line of defense? He'd kill you.
You'd get about to
Maybe
that
literally.
where he was, and you just down it. This looks good. It's fine. Everything's good. I'm just gonna put this right here. Somebody else's problem now. All right. Well, hooray! Yeah, more kickers I mean, it might be fun for a minute seeing these guys get lit up, but after that, yeah.
Or maybe they might actually start to be built like real football players. Who knows?
Well, then maybe I'll call them a real football player after that. All right, guys, we got 2 hours down and 1 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-8787. That's 1-800-280-8787. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
This Father's Day, the Home Depot has same-day delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad be everything he can be. Because your dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Let the Home Depot help power Dad's doing with the convenience and gas-like power of Milwaukee cordless outdoor tools. Plus, get up to $150 off select Milwaukee tools. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select in-stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains from June 7th through the 10th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Oh, wow. 113 today. Broke a record set back in 2016.
113. Yeah, 109 currently.
Blimey. I ain't going outside again ever.
Welcome to the summertime here in the valley.
It's the Daily Blender, everybody. It's 5 o'clock, in case you didn't know, and hotter than.
I'll see y'all outside in November.
And never. I'm never going outside again. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien. That's Randy White, Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys on the Fanac text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. We were talking about how they got this this new kickoff rule, and it might be exposing kickers to some violence, you know, last line of defense. I mean, I think if I'm a coach, I'd tell them, just once you kick the ball, get the hell out of the way. Do not be in between the guy that's running the ball back and whatever he needs to be doing, because you're just too valuable in your wuss. So, you know,
and you're a wuss.
Well, yeah, all kickers are wusses. So I mean, you don't even have to tell them that. They should know that. Because it's kind of like big dog, little dog. Little dogs think they're badasses, and little dogs have to be saved from themselves like all the time, right? Kickers have that little dog energy, but they need to know. Somebody needs to tell them. You got to tell
little dog energy.
Right.
Okay, all right.
So you got to tell people like Justin Tucker, you should not do this. You will be, let's have some practice. Have one of your guys gently lay him out at about quarter speed, and that'll be enough for him to go, I don't ever want to do this again.
Gently lay him out at quarter speed.
Yeah, like just
quarter speed might put him in the hospital.
So maybe not your biggest play. Like don't send Gus Edwards at him.
Why are they wearing pads and a helmet and all that?
Well, because
rigmarole. Then
because
camouflage.
That and also they could get run into. Because if they don't have it, and Antonio Brown comes with with his cleats headed for your face, you're gonna wish you had the helmet and the pads. You will.
Bills fan Russ says, "What is the rule? Why are kickers more at risk?" Well. Okay, so here's explain how the new rule works, and because I haven't seen it in action yet. I haven't seen it in action. I thought I was supposed to make things safer.
I don't think any of us has seen it in action. I haven't watched the Uffle.
Yeah, I ain't watching the Uffle.
Safer in the sense that the guys that'll be returning will get a start to move forward as well, so they're not just caught off guard, but also they do want to encourage more kickoff returns. Like that's the part of the game because of all the touchbacks that are being phased out of it. A guy like Justin Tucker, he's a really great kicker. He kicks the ball 79 yards. I mean, he was one of the leaders in the NFL in touchbacks. Him, Harrison Butker, like other guys that kick the ball just forever. So they wanted to change this the rules here. So I'm going to try and read it here and see if it
pay attention, Bills fan Russ,
makes any sense. So with the new rule, kickers will still kick off from their own 35-yard line. However, the 10 members of the kicking team will line up at the opposing team's 40-yard line.
So then it's only the kicker standing back there after that?
Yes, at the 35.
Well, this is such a bad idea. Go ahead.
The return team will have at least 9 blockers lined up in the setup zone between the 30 and 35, with at least 7 of those players touching the 35. There would be 2 returners allowed inside the 20 instead of just 1. So you kicking in either direction, you can't kick away from somebody. And only the kicker and 2 returners would be allowed to move until the ball hits the ground or is touched by a returner inside the 20. So that's the part that's supposed to encourage more is, no one can really move until the ball's picked up.
Until the ball has been touched or hits the ground.
So you're more likely to take a chance as the returning team
because
your returner can actually get moving before anybody else can, as opposed to letting it go behind you or whatever else.
So the reason the kickers are more at risk is you've got a bunch of guys who are going to be going forward, and the kicker is probably not going to be one of them. And if the guy with the ball breaks free, the only person between him and the end zone, it could very well be the kicker, because everybody else is swarming in, and one guy busts out. There's nobody left. They're going to have to do some formational stuff where a couple guys hang back as like a bunch of other guys go running out. But then you got a guy blocking here, blocking there. It's just this is going to be interesting, and it will be interesting to see.
It's kind of staggered. Like there's a point at which you can't have blockers back there. So it's basically opening up a lot of the field. I'm excited to see it.
Well, here, let me ask you a question. If everybody's lined up a thing, you see you can't have blockers back there. Can people fall back?
Probably, yeah.
See, that's what you're going to probably see is maybe a guy fall back.
Yeah,
that's
nothing
a
in
real
the rules
football player
said that they couldn't. So,
of course, he might bring a guy with him, and that could be problematic too. Number 1 Rattlers fan says no surprise on onside kicks. They got to be announced beforehand now. That's not very. I mean, when they're going to do an onside kick. So I don't know if I've ever seen many surprise onside kicks. It's usually pretty obvious. Rough Rob says kickers want to try them. Well, it'll be great for a highlight reel at least. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious.
Yeah, look,
let's see what happens.
The first season's going to be fun because everyone's going to be figuring out how the hell this thing works.
You're going to see some kickers being taken out in a crumpled heap on a cot. I mean, just like walking out with a guy.
Just bring the cart out. Just forget about the cot. Just bring the cart.
No, not the cart. Just bring him on the stretcher. That's more fun to see a crumpled up kicker on a stretcher. Big George says, "Hey, I don't mean to brag, but it's currently 68 degrees here in Carlsbad. You guys should come out here and do a live remote from the cool beach."
From George's back deck.
I feel like that couple should be left alone.
All right.
That is also Big George again. We are in Big George in his hate to brag season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, living out in the Carlsbad.
I'm going to read those
texts. But you don't hate to brag because you do it all the time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Haruto joins us. I don't know if he's in Japan or Hawaii, speaking about bragging, but he says, hello, Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Rose, Mr. White, gearing up for the NBA Finals, and I got to say, I hope Dallas wins. I'm a fan of Luka Doncic and his swagger on the court. Hope you're well.
Swagger?
Yeah. Huh. Here from the pineapple fields of Hawaii, he says.
Doesn't he mean whining?
Yeah, Luka Doncic has a punchable face, Haruto. That's how we feel about him.
He's not a swashbuckling pirate. He's a whiny baby.
Punchable face. Yes. Did we lose Randy?
No.
Oh, there was a weird noise there. It was like
Huh.
pop. Sun Devil Raul says, "Hey, Blender. Hi, Fourth Dimension. You know how they have these new events in the Olympics? You know what should be in the Olympics? Roller skating. What skating does everyone like more? Roller skating or roller blading?
Wow.
None of the above, Sun Devil Raul. I don't think that should be in the Olympics. I think there's a lot of crap that should be in the Olympics. Most of the Olympics isn't even really sports.
You could get rid of the flag waving competition, and you could get like roller derby. Now that's the kind of roller skating that I would want to see. What I'm saying.
Now you've got something.
All the teams, you get their roller derby teams out there, and instead of watching somebody clown around with a couple of wispy little flags, well, let's get a real sport out there. Roller derby.
Oh yeah, I second that motion.
I mean, the
motion carried.
I don't know when the flag waving happens, but they've got
it's those
ribbon. The ribbon.
Yeah, I know.
Flag things.
I know what you're
I
talking
don't even
about.
understand what the hell's going on there.
They've got break dancing in the Olympics this year. Get rid of the break dancing.
Yeah, why does that?
Please.
That's not a sport. Why does that have to be in there?
I don't know why it's in there. This is the first time it's
bring
there.
back roller derby.
Kyle G says, I think it'll be the opposite, Jeffrey. The kicker is on the way out. Kickoff is the option to be punted already. So I think we'll see teams have one guy kick and one guy punt. This allows the backup quarterback to be the holder again, which gives a bigger threat to fake field goals. This is aided by more coaches being willing to go for it on fourth down, so less long tries, leading to less specialized kickers. Oh, Kiss the Cook has an amazing idea.
All right.
Time to sign some Aussie kickers. It's a good point.
Oh, yeah.
Get some of them rugby boys in there.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of teams have already done it with the punters because the way that they punt the ball in the Australian football is that they have this sideways spin to it. So the ball's kind of rolling and hard to pick up. So we might see a bunch of those guys.
All right. 8171. You need a text or nickname. I might stop reading your texts until you get yourself one. But he says, let's see how good the kickers really are. Now they got to hit a 57-yard sand wedge so that you don't get steamrolled.
You basically have to be incredibly precise with where you put the football.
Well, these guys are NFL kickers, right? They're supposed to be some of the greatest kickers ever.
Sun Devil Raul says, your kicker analysis is just one more example of your athletic ignorance. One of the best athletes I've ever personally known kicked for NAU. He also had many tryouts with different NFL teams. He was an amazing soccer player, baseball player, basketball player. Really, what's his name? And did he make a team? What about that? Hefty Lefty says, I think the Chiefs said, they did. They did say it, that they were going to mess around with having that defensive back kick for them. He kicked off when Butker was hurt last year or the year before or something like that. Yeah. And Last Optimist says, the Chiefs said they don't want Butker kicking. They don't want him messing around with having that They're looking at having the backup kicker, do those.
Well, there you go.
Everybody's saying the same thing.
There it is. Yeah.
8171 says, "Oh, geez, okay. I don't play every day, but how about you call me Flogging Logger?" I like that. Listen, you don't have to text in every day to have a texter nickname.
You just, if you text in even a couple times a month, you should have a texter
Flogging
nickname.
Logger.
Flogging Logger.
Is he another Canadian?
You a logger? Why Flogging Logger? I like it, but do we have actual loggers? But this guy's got a 623 area code, so he's not
okay. All right.
He's not Canadian that I can tell.
All right.
Flogging
Logger.
Flogging Logger. I like the name. It's alliteration. Just love that. The Jet says, "What if you just squib kick it?"
Well, then you have to announce it, don't you? That's like an onside kick, right?
Well, not really, because with the onside kick, you're aiming at a very specific, like it's just got to clear 10 yards. If you squib it, you don't have to announce that. The issue, of course, is if it gets scooped up before the 35,
squib it good.
Then what? Someone could get all the way to the 40, 45 before anyone brings them down. That's just bad if it backfires.
Sun Devil Raul, setting us up for a joke about telling your parents something, says, "You know what the hardest part about the rollerblading is?" Yeah, we know that joke. We know where that joke goes.
It's the blender. We've seen a lot of things.
Number one Rattlers fan says 8171 is my cousin, and he wants to have a texture nickname Sergeant Schultz from Hogan's Heroes. Well, that's not true. He just told us he wanted to be Flogging Logger.
Flogging Logger.
Liar. Bills fan Russ says, what happens if it's kicker is in the end zone? What happens if the kicker is in the end zone? Or if it gets kicked in the end zone? Oh, it's a touchback. Unless the guy catches it and runs it out.
Well, if he touches it and picks it up, he's got to figure out whether or not he wants to run it out. But because nobody can move until he picks it up, it's a little bit different because he's going to get more of a running start than they do.
Berg is trying to figure out Flogging Logger. He says logger could be like big dumps, like a big person like George does. Yeah, but why would you flog a log? You know what I'm saying? You're beating the log, but it's flogging logger. Very. I'm stopped. I can't move. I'm until he tells us what flogging logger means. We're
a little stuck here right now.
I don't think I can think about much else. You ever have that happen where something is like, ooh, what?
Yeah, it's just
freezes you right there in your steps,
and you get caught in a little loop of trying to figure out what the hell that means. Like right now with flogging logger.
I was about to be stopped by Sun Devil Raul saying about my athletic ignorance. I think I pretty much have it on the nose that football players generally are not athletes. They're not.
Or you meant kickers?
What did I say? Kickers.
You said
kickers
are
kickers are not athletes. Kickers are just.
That doesn't mean every kicker is unathletic. It just means most of them are.
Yeah, like look at Justin Tucker. He's 6'1". Okay, great. 180 pounds. What the hell, man? Well, it's not athletic ignorance. I feel like I got that one right on the nose. Berg says logger to me sounds like a big log in the can, if you know what I mean. No, we got it. We figured it. Moist one says lots of kickers were soccer stars. Okay, being athletic does not make you an athlete. They got great cardio, but I don't find them athletic. Damn soccer players running around.
Damn, here we go. Cue the call from the soccer hooligans.
Well, I mean, you really got to push hard to get those guys mad. Jonesy says, "Who said kickers were athletes?" Told you, it was Sun Devil Raul. It wasn't me.
Look, I remember being a kid. There was a Madden commercial, and they had a bunch of players that were going to be highlighted in the game, saying very aggressive things to the camera. And then there was some kicker that tried to say something, and it cuts to Ray Lewis, and Ray Lewis said, "Kickers will speak when spoken to." And that is the only thing that I think about kickers to this day. I don't know what else to tell you. That had a very strong influence on me for my whole life.
I second that motion. Flog and Logger says goes back to the City League flag football days. It was our team name. I think Baker Mayfield, in his OU days. That's what you got to think. And Boom Shakalaka says, I keep hearing it as lager. Now I'm thirsty. I know, me too.
Yeah. See, I was hearing lager like a beer.
That's what I hoped it was.
That kind of happened to me as well. Now we're all thirsty.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. But lager, how else? I pronounced it right.
You did. There's no other way to really pronounce that.
Not on you, Jeffco. Not on you.
Baby Mullet says, if kickers aren't athletes, what about golfers? Seriously.
No.
Have you seen John Daly? Come on, man. Come on.
No.
Come on, man. They're not athletes. Do we have to go through this again? Do I have to? Because I have it right here. I have it at my fingertips. What is a sport? What is an athletic competition? And then what is not a sport? How long did we spend with this finely crafted document?
It was at least 20 minutes. At least.
I feel like it was at least 25 minutes.
All right. 25 minutes. Yeah.
But this thing is perfect. Golf is an athletic competition. It is listed as not a sport.
Right.
I should put in there where it says NFL should be NFL kicking. not a sport. Oh, by the way, Floggin' Lager says, hey, maybe we should change it to lager, more beer. So he wants to be Floggin' Lager.
Okay, but why did you choose the first one?
Well, he told you because it was his flag football team name back in the day.
Gotcha.
But if he wants to change it to LAGER, I'm gonna let him do it.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of cool that way, to be honest.
Floggin' Lager. Now it sounds even more Scottish or Irish or English, whatever you want it to be, my friend. Fixed it right there. We're gonna have to take a look at all the Olympic events.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of them. They are embarrassing. Some of the ones that they've added.
Breakdancing, I'll just write it. It's not a sport.
Breakdancing is a cool thing to see. It's not a sport. How? Wait, what? Not every cool thing needs to be in the Olympics. Some things can just be cool because they're cool.
Breakdancing. Just wrote it down. I wrote it down there at the very bottom. So there it is, right under Quidditch and bullfighting.
I forgot that people did Quidditch.
Enough people did it that I had to write that down. Moist One says Kegels. That's just good sense to do those every now and then. Keep that thing tight.
It's an exercise, though, not a.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Kegels, we're doing it right now. Yeah. I think we should all do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're working on. There you
go. I do them aggressively where I go, but you can do them quietly.
like you're doing by some girls at the gym.
It's all about the reps, not about the weight.
Just got to get your reps in.
Moist One says, never not doing it.
Oh,
you're the Troy Polamalu of Kegels. I got you. I think we should just all vow to do it through the entire commercial break.
Okay.
We're gonna Kegel through this next break and be back with more of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NCAA baseball tournament resuming on Friday with super regional play. 16 teams remaining in the tournament. That means 8 super regionals, which is best 2 out of 3, with the winners heading to Omaha, Nebraska to be part of the 8-team College World Series playing for the national championship. Tennessee was the #1 overall seed in the 64-team field, and they are the betting favorite to win this year's College World Series at +270. Texas A&M is at +340. Kentucky and North Carolina both at +900. The SEC has won the last 4 national championships. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-285-3636. That's 800-285-3636.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains from June 7th through the 10th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
When life gets overwhelming, but you just don't feel like talking, help is only a text away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available by text 24/7 to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please text HOPE to 4HOPE. From anywhere in Arizona, text the word HOPE to 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Kyle G says, oh God, why is this ad break so long? That's a lot of Kegels, you guys. I'm getting sore. How do you do this? Well, first off, if you're doing Kegels and it's sore, you had some damage before you started.
Yes. Yeah.
We don't need to know about how that happened, but just mark us down
or you hadn't been doing them ever, which is just
you're
doing yourself a disservice, man.
And you have to have a strong constitution like the three of us.
Yeah, yeah. My wife walked in the room right as I said about doing Kegels. She didn't even like break a stride. Her face expression didn't even change. I think she's used to me. she's like, I'm sure they're talking about Kegels. Why not?
Kegels again?
Why not? Jonesy says, did you guys see or already talk about the Packers-Eagles game in Brazil? Isn't their flag green? Well, I don't know about what color their flag is, but I would imagine the Packers and Eagles going to crime-ridden Brazil is probably not the best idea.
So the issue that they're having right now is that there are a lot of Brazilian gangs who use the color green. And so if you are a fan of Packers or Eagles just walking around Brazil because your team's there to play, you could get caught up in violence that's not intended for you.
Well,
so the NFL is trying to figure out their way around this. And also the teams probably shouldn't wear green either. They don't want that on the TV in the Brazil.
So the Brazilian flag is green with some yellow and blue, but mostly green. The gang has green. What was the other gang green?
Well, that's like a nickname for the Jets. Like they genuinely call themselves that.
So what is the other gang color?
I don't know. Because the Packers and the Eagles both wear green. That's the one that came up. So it's if there was a green team and then some other team, would be like, okay, well, somebody just wear the road lights and
it's important to know what the other gang color is. So then you wear some color that's neither of those things when you're walking around. When you're on the field, yeah, all right, just wear your green, whatever. But if you're going to a restaurant, don't wear that green. I feel like they'll know who's a football fan and who's a gang member,
or who's a player wandering around.
Gang members don't
It's
have
just-
names on the back of their shirts.
It's just if you're going to worry about the crime in Brazil, this is just another thing to worry about, which is that you could be wearing just an Eagles shirt. And
do the gang members have numbers?
No.
I think the football players will be okay. But you're thinking about the fans, maybe. I don't know. Did you find out what the other color for the other gangs are?
Not really. I'm
All right,
looking it up right now.
Brazil gang colors.
Yeah, no, players were told not to wear green in Brazil for the game.
Yeah, it only tells me about the green ones.
Well, that's the ones that are of concern
red.
to us.
I think there's red.
Okay.
There's a red. No, that's France. See, Google sucks right now. I'm asking it a question that's too strange, so I'm just going to turn off Google now. This is up to you. You figure it out. Let us know. Kyle G says, if you're not from Brazil, you shouldn't be walking around Brazil. You know, the whole color of your shirt thing is kind of secondary, actually, to that. That's what I'm thinking.
It's secondary, but if you run, like, you're adding to the problem. It's not that the green is the problem. You're adding to the problem. You might be able to maybe go around unnoticed a little bit, but now you stand out in a way that might get you shot at actively instead of like, because in Brazil, what's most likely to happen to you is probably you're robbed. Now we're adding somebody thinks that you are a rival gang member and they're shooting at you to the list of problems you now have.
Just everybody wear black.
Well, if everybody wears black.
Random texter says kickers aren't athletes. Jeffrey, you weren't you a running back? I think we need a race. Random texter, you and I are both way too old for that crap. I ain't racing anymore.
Sometimes your racing days are just behind you.
I stand by my comments, but I'm not racing anymore. Number one Rattlers fan says 2004 Madden game. Ray Lewis dissing the PK there.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one.
CK said the same thing.
I love that commercial.
Jonesy says crazy. You know, but if you know that's a wait, hold on here. Let me see. If you know it's a problem, why invite two green teams to go play in Brazil? I think the NFL is trying to thin the herd. They figure we just get some of these players killed.
Well, because the Brazilians didn't know. The NFL was like, hey, we want to play a game and this is where we want to play it and all this other stuff. And the Brazilians were like, cool, you can play the game. You can use this stadium. You're great. And then the NFL chose the teams without doing the research on anything. And it's becoming an issue now. They are just now realizing that this is a problem.
Derp. Flogging Lager says, oh, Roger Goodell ought to assign Snoop Dogg for security, you know, red and blue, Bloods and Crips. Better idea. Don't go to Brazil. Well, we tried to reason with him on that. Listen.
We started there, but, you know, it's already on the schedule.
Kiss the Cook says Yanni exercises should be an Olympic sport. I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure what that is.
YONI. I know what Kegels are. Well, guess we're going to Google this now. You clench the pelvic floor only, not the buttock or the inner thigh muscles. Hold for 10 seconds, then release for 10 seconds. But I don't have a Yanni. I think that's a lady thing. Pretty sure that's a lady thing. Crackalakin says, isn't that Brazilian flag green there? Yeah. Big Jake says, Brazil has a known robbery technique, right? So what they'll do is they'll get you at a stoplight. They'll rush your car, stick a gun in your face, and rob you silly. It's suggested that if you're American, that you hire a special driver that doubles as security with bulletproof glass windows.
I just think that if you're a fan of the Eagles or a fan of the Packers, just don't go to Brazil. I just think you should watch your team on TV. And then the next time they travel out of the country, if you have the money to do that, go watch that game, the one they play in France or Germany or whatever. This is not great.
Wesso Grand just alerted us to a thing that I didn't even know was a thing. He says in Iowa, in Iowa, you had to be careful where you wore green too, especially if you were in an international harvester territory versus John Deere territory. He says true stuff.
The mean streets of Iowa.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever
The
heard.
mean fields.
The mean fields of
the
Iowa.
Mean fields of Iowa.
The mean fields of Des Moines.
But I have no reason not to believe it's true. Iowa is that kind of dumb. Big Jake says this famously happened to Chael Sonnen, the UFC fighter, when he was there for that UFC reality show. Yeah, let's not go to Brazil. Let's not go to Brazil. I'm glad.
I
nobody's
remember
going to Brazil.
they played the Brazilian national team, Team USA did in basketball. And there was a point where everybody was obsessed with doing the little 3-point sign. And they were like, yeah, no, that could get you in a lot of trouble in Brazil. What
does that mean?
I don't know what it means, but they were like,
does it look like this?
It could be, yeah.
Okay, so the OK sign is also a in some cultures a foul thing.
Yes.
So that might be more about this than the 3.
Yeah, it just at the time that's what players were doing it for, and it was just everybody in the league was you had a guy on your team that's shooting a lot of threes. When he shoots the ball before it even goes in, you're throwing up the 3 points, and they were like, you can't have a whole bench of U.S. players doing that in Brazil. We could have problems.
If you do the ice in the vein move, they might think you're looking for some heroin.
That's true, which is also its own problem, I guess.
Kiss the Cook says, my Olympic volunteer training, they strongly recommended you take broken phones with you in case you get robbed. It wasn't a matter of if, but when. Oh, so you give in your pockets, you have a phone that works and you have your fake phone. Like sometimes people take a fake wallet with them. So if you get robbed, you just hand them over some stuff and then they leave you alone. It's a pretty good idea, but I bet they have wind of it where they're going to be like, keep going. Keep going. Choro says,
like TSA.
Jeffrey just flipped off all the Brazilians. I'm not worried about them here. And
if you watch a stream on YouTube and get offended from Brazil, you're just dumb.
Yeah.
That's just
I'll give you all of the versions. This one, this one, this one. Yeah, if you do this, it's peace sign.
You got that one.
But if you do
Got a bunch
backwards
of 'em.
peace sign, you're like, right there. Flogging Logger says, flex the London Chiefs with Swifty things versus the Raiders. I don't understand what he's saying.
I don't understand.
Kind of lost me as well.
I don't know what he's saying. Did we talk about Dan Campbell being against shortening preseason?
No, we did not.
I thought we did yesterday.
Yeah, he's against it. He says it might hinder development of younger players. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that, but can't you?
Because your starters don't play that much in the preseason. It's specifically for the guys who want to develop or the guys you're trying to evaluate. That's what most of that is.
But if you're going to develop young players, you got to do it more than just the preseason games.
Yeah, but like you do it. So during the off season, you've got your OTAs, and then you have your full training camp, the stuff that's not voluntary. Everybody's got to be there. And then a good way of seeing where people are and giving them some experience in a game that doesn't matter is preseason.
Sorry. Choro was just asking online what the Italian version is of that. And that's it right there. Did I do it right? Your wife's Italian.
I don't know. I'm not going to ask her.
Well, Choro was originally asking you. There you go.
You're the only Italian connection in the room right now.
That right there. That's a version.
I just, you know what? If somebody flips me off, I'm just, I got your finger right here, right on that right inseam right there.
Are you trying to say your penis is the size of a finger?
No.
You just said you've got your finger right there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Just go ahead.
So you just have like a very skinny like
go ahead, pucker up. Yeah, you want to find out? It's right over here, pal.
I don't want to find out, but I think you need to rework that comeback a little bit.
You want to find out? You got to come over here and pay the price of admission.
That makes it sound.
Mark me down as impressed. I'm good.
I'll just take your word for it.
So Dan Campbell's saying he doesn't want a shorter preseason, and then Colts, Ryan Kelly, who is the representative of the team to the NFLPA, says 18 is too many. 18 is too many games. He's like, hell no, we shouldn't be playing 18. He says, sure, sounds great. But when people talk about it, but he says that is just too damn many games. He says for the people who play the games, that's going to put a lot of wear and tear and damage. He says, I wish people understood how hard it was to play 16 games. Then they added another one here. And then they get rid of preseason games. Well, okay, well, who's that going to hurt? Guys that don't have a shot, not the guys who are playing. So he basically is agreeing with Dan Campbell, but he's also saying 18 is too much.
Because there are guys who have made teams because they showed a lot of promise in the preseason. You're taking that away from them. You are. Like, there's no getting around it. What they can do in live football games, because when they're doing the preseason, it doesn't matter to us as fans. Preseason games don't mean anything. But to them, this is their chance to make the roster. And then for these coaches, they're trying to get their operation down of how smoothly do we call plays? If our coordinator is not on the sideline and he's up in the booth, how smoothly can we get through that process? So they're calling it like it's real. You take that stuff away, you are making the football worse. And the thing is, I want to see more football. I love football, but I also want to see good football. And if you're adding more games and you're taking away preseason games, you are going to have the combined thing of making the football much worse.
We have a new texter on the text line. 0379 says, I'm Brazilian and I'm very offended by your comments. Brazil's a nice country and safer than America in many ways. Well, that's a lie too big. You would be very lucky to live in a great country like Brazil. Okay, listen, if I offended you, number one, I'm very sorry. Number two, I'll stop. Number three, 1 and 2 are lies. Number 4, I don't care.
Brazil is a great country, and no, you're not going to get robbed everywhere in Brazil, but you have to admit that in places like Rio de Janeiro, there are tremendous gang problems. We joke about the gang problems in cities on this show. We've made fun of Detroit and Baltimore and Chicago. Like, we know what our problem areas are. Don't turn a blind eye to yours. Brazil is a large country. So yeah, saying that you go to Brazil, you're going to get robbed or whatever. Fine. But like, we're talking about where they're going to be sending these players to play games. It's in the cities where these problems are happening.
And looky here, Pedro. Now, by the way, people are going to go, oh my God, that's right. No, his actual name's Pedro. He just said his name's Pedro. That did just to sound be clear. A bit racist there for about 3 seconds.
Like you just made up a name to go.
Look at here, Pedro. Let me tell you something. No, but actually, his first name, I'm not sure how to pronounce. It's Joao, Jao. I'm not sure, so I'll go by Mr. Pedro. Mr. Pedro, my brother-in-law, lived in Brazil until recently, and the first thing he said to me when I said, "Hey, so why'd you leave Brazil?" He's like, "It's too dangerous." So we're not just making this stuff up about Brazil. Brazil, I'm sure there are some lovely areas. Hell, there's some lovely areas of Detroit, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean,
poor people live there, but yeah, there's a lovely, lovely area that is gated with like 12-foot high stone walls, where a few rich people live. But outside of that, holy crap, Detroit's a mess. And guess what? Brazil is just a hotbed of gang activity and violence, and not a place a tourist should ever think of doing.
And you got, especially when you because they had the Olympics in Rio, all of the stuff. And didn't we have a texter that just said that they were volunteering for the Olympics and had this? That was the one with the broken cell phone one. Like, yeah, like when you go to Brazil, this is the thing people tell you about.
Hold on. Mr. Pedro says, nah, I'm just kidding. Okay. Brazil's dangerous. And that's the reason I moved to. I just wanted to pretend like I was angry. I'm happy to live in this great country of America.
Well, okay. Because I was just like, I understand that it's not
Pedro got us
the same country, but I was born in Guyana. We border Brazil, and like there's a bleed over of some crime. Okay. So I'm just like, I didn't want to call you a liar, but like I was just like, you've got to be real about what's going on there. And I guess you were kidding. So
yeah. Big Jake says Brazil, the most crime in all of South America, with a massive gun problem, really bad gang problem, huge disparity of really rich and really poor. Not many people in between.
The huge disparity I mean, at least for a lot of what the people who research these kinds of things say, it is one of the factors that cause crime. Is you got a bunch of people who see other folks with money and you're barely making enough to eat. You you might do something about that. It's not their fault, but here we are.
Baby Mullet says Jeffrey could totally survive a walk through the favelas, which, by the way, those are the neighborhoods of Brazil. It's a term that generally means slum or again the ghetto. And no, I'd be kidnapped immediately. Look at me. Look at me.
It doesn't even matter. You could be wearing the crappiest outfit. They're going to assume you have money. That's just.
I am exceptionally white, I think is a good way to put that.
It was just a guess.
Kiss the Cook says, "Shut up, you Brazilian nut." I think that was directed at Pedro there.
At Pedro, but before he said he was joking.
The Jet says, "Expand the roster." I think he's. Oh, you're talking about for 18 games. He says, "Yeah, I think with 18 games, you got to play everyone. Load management, so you end up maybe end up developing those younger players anyway." That's an interesting thought process.
But then we have games because the preseason games where you do it, none of us watch those. So now you're doing that in the regular season where you're not sure, is this a game I should watch or should I not? Because are they load managing this week? You're making the NBA problem an NFL problem.
The Tom says the thrash metal band Sepultura from Brazil, where they got popular when they moved to the United States. Former singer Max lives in Phoenix. Okay, well, that's good to know. Yeah. Case the Cook says there's an island there that they still have cannibals. Cannibals? Brazilian cannibals?
Yeah, I'm going to double check that.
Hey, nobody got to say nothing to me about Brazil at this moment.
Because once you escalate to cannibalism, it's like, okay, wait, hold on.
We got to take a break. When we come back, maybe a little more football, definitely on this date in Big Georgia sports history and stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains from June 7th through the 10th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with the surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Do you need equipment for your business but don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used equipment. Excavators, forklifts, dozers, tractors, cranes, plows, and more. If it's essential to your business, I will help you get the money you need. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack? Bingo. That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
James Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So our Brazilian friend, Mr. Pedro, says, as I'm from Brazil, I advise any fan thinking about going to Brazil to watch an NFL game, don't go. Not to go. Watch from the safety of your living room, says the Brazilian. I think we should call him Brazilian Nut. But if you, it's up to you what you want to be called. And by the way, we are interested in your story. I'm really thinking this is the same person who is pretending to be many people from other places. How do we just coincidentally have a person show up from every different country?
We've got a German. We've got a French Canadian. We got the other Canadians.
Pierre. Somebody is peeling off phone numbers from the area codes of these other countries and pretending to be people.
The only person that I believe is Haruto.
Haruto, he does, although I think I could pull that off, because what you do is you Google translate from English to Japanese.
Yeah, and then send it.
And then back to English again. If you put it through a translator a couple times, it's going to come out funky on the other end. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody out there is pretending to be people.
I feel very strongly about this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't prove it, so I don't make a big stink about it.
Have we seen any of them together in the same place at the same time?
I haven't received any photographs of any of these people. Should be pretty quick. Where they take they write down a daily blender and a piece of paper, and take a picture of themselves and the date, and send it to us. I'm just saying. It's a bit suspicious that all of a sudden this has become an international sensation of a show.
We may have a mystery on our hands.
I feel like I just solved it.
Yeah. It's open
There's
and shut
somebody.
case, Johnson.
No, it's not
open
solved.
and
you
shut
keep saying
case.
solved.
Somebody's working Google numbers.
But who would it be?
Because you can spoof phone numbers from one phone. You don't need. It's not even hard.
Somebody with a lot of time on their hands. I don't know who it is, but it's somebody. Somebody. Flogging Logger says, no, Keon, the NBA's own joke load management is their own problem. Expand the NFL roster. Those players actually engage in physical conduct. You have to allow for backups. Perfect environment for Brazil is a Raider fan at a Taylor Swift concert before the game. Change the schedule or eject. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on there. I don't think that the NBA's problem is just their own problem. A lot of other sports manage that way, but in the NBA, because there are so few players on the court at a time, you don't notice it as much. But if you start load managing in the NFL with specifically star players, skill position guys, wide receivers, running backs, people we notice, yeah, that's going to become an issue. And if you need time to develop those players and you've clinched a playoff spot already, you're going to keep playing those guys? We could end up with some football that's just not good.
Mm-hmm. Kiss the Cook says Brazilian women are hot. And they do Kegels. Thank you, Kiss the Cook. Hefty Lefty says, on one hand, the crime is bad in Brazil, right?
Yes.
Well, for us pale-faced folks. On the other hand, the cake I've seen on the beaches there make it really tempting to try to get really tan and just try to blend in. The cake? Is that a new term? Is that a term for gals? Saw some nice cake out there on the beach.
I mean, if you're talking about her butt, her as a person, I've never heard.
Is cake a term for gals keister?
Yeah. Got a lot of
Oh,
cake.
it is.
Got a lot of cake. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Hefty lefty, he's hipper than I thought he was. Big George says, instead of having all these international types.
Yes.
Well, the one thing the international types don't have is the thinky wheel every time I try to read a text. But go on. He says, instead of having all these international NFL games, why not have some games in places where they don't usually get to see NFL games, like Honolulu, Hawaii? We did mention that. San Juan, Puerto Rico. That's nice. That's closer. San Antonio, Texas. Places in the United States itself where maybe safety is not that big of an issue.
That would be cool. And San Antonio would love it. I used to live in San Antonio, and I have never been in a city that didn't have a football team that desperate for a football team. They're the only team that you put the AF, the Alliance of American Football, they sell it out. You put the XFL, they sell it out. You put the UFL, they sell it out. They'll watch any football in that city. You put an NFL game, it doesn't even matter who. They don't have to be from Texas or anything. Just put it in San Antonio. They'll sell it out. I promise.
So Mr. Pedro just sent me a photo. He says, I'm a real person from Manaus, Brazil. And he says, I usually only send these pictures to women, but I'll make an exception for you. But here's the thing. How do I know that's even a real picture? You got to take a picture of yourself with a piece of paper that says Daily Blender, June 6.
And I hope that you're not sending that to women, just their name and today's date to.
No, not that one. He didn't send that to women. He just sent a picture. This is just a picture of a dude here. And how am I supposed to know that's really him? That's what I'm saying. We got to have that hold up a piece of paper thing going on.
Just a selfie with that.
Please understand, it's not you. We just had trust issues. Okay. We have trust issues. But listen, I got to get this done before we run out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1944, sports officials across the country, including all Major League sports team owners, canceled games and events as Allied forces began D-Day operations in Normandy, France. Among those brave soldiers that stormed the beaches on D-Day 80 years ago today were many athletes and celebrities, including Yogi Berra. Oh, remember Yogi Berra?
Yep.
Professional golfer Bobby Jones, Scotty from Star Trek, James Doohan. In fact, he got hit by bullets 6 times. Scotty from Star Trek was 50 cents before 50 Cent,
Well,
and
okay.
He got shot 6 times and he lost his middle finger. So if you ever watch Star Trek, sometimes you see him kind of holding his hand where you can't see the.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Some other famous people in D-Day, Henry Fonda, the actor, author J.D. Salinger, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Alec Guinness, not Ewan McGregor. He wasn't, Alec Guinness, the old guy. Use the force, Luke.
Yeah.
Little wuss.
Yeah.
Can you imagine going through D-Day and then have to put up with Luke Skywalker's teen angst? I want to go to the power station. Shut your face, Luke. I stormed the beach. Yeah. Oh, I love to go to the beach. just cut him in half.
That's why you get to leave that part out of your character because you'd be annoyed.
Now I know that about Alec Guinness. I just seriously, Luke would, if it had been me, Luke would not have survived the drive. You know what I mean? Like we picked him up, we were like, let's go to town, the scum and villainy town there. And then you just see the speeders and then just me and a couple droids. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but man, this is a better drive than earlier. That's all I know. Swazman says, hey, Jeffrey, how about NFL in Oklahoma? My brother lives near Tulsa.
Yeah.
They love high school football and driving the speed limit.
But also the Sooners, man. I'm sure.
I feel if Nebraska and Oklahoma, if you can sustain other sports or football in other ways, then okay, I can see Nebraska with a football team.
Sure.
I can see Oklahoma. They got a basketball team. I guess there's some places.
Yeah.
It makes more sense than going to Germany.
And if you want to make expansion teams and add teams, now you have places you've already tested that you don't have to figure out, well, how do we make it so that a team could fly to London and then fly back to play a week later. Like,
right.
These are crazy problems you're making up yourself.
Yeah, well, but we can talk all this common sense, right?
Something tells me they're not going to do it.
The NFL does not care what we think. The NFL does not care what the players think. The NFL only cares what they think, and all they think about is money, 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 money. How to get it. So they listen to Money Radio. I mean, obviously. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. or something. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Adios.
With Verizon, now everyone can get our best phone deals.
Even if I'm new?
Even if you're new.
What if I've been with Verizon forever?
Oh, yeah. You see, new and existing customers get the amazing iPhone 15 with tons of storage on us. With any iPhone trade at any model, any condition. Guaranteed with unlimited ultimate.
Here's one.